Welcome to the West,
Very
a Dishonored
inconsistent
RPG campaign that we run
occasionally
at times, normally around 7 o'clock.
This time,
Usually
2 nights in a
Tuesday.
row.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's special. Kind of a finale, a little bit of a break after this. So, last session, you all finished a firefight in the Ascanti mansion. You were besieged by a pirate airship, and after you survived a couple of waves, Belascanti's
boyfriend.
you don't know that.
Yeah, but
But
as players we
Grand and
do.
illustrious lover.
Her hitman, basically.
Weird glowing-eyed hitman lover.
Yes.
Not even
Those
through the recap
dazzling glowing
already.
eyes.
Not even through the recap. Yep. But you killed him. No, he killed himself, technically. You guys really wore him down. He lost most of his limbs. But, yes, he sacrificed himself to try to kill you all by igniting the explosives in the basement. As he attempted to do that, Jacob Reed, aka the Raven of Argonica, attempted to disarm the grenade and save the day, or sacrifice himself heroically in order to stop it. He couldn't manage to defuse the grenade, but somebody came in to help. The Dazzler, one of the 8 outsiders.
The one we think is really awful.
Yep.
Really great.
But anyways, the Dazzler marked the Raven because of his showmanship and his flair that he puts into everything, which actually resulted in your life being saved. So there you go. The Raven's alive. So, you're out of that. You all were picked up by a secret Morlian frigate, I'll say. The Requite, which had a infirmary on board in which, like, 5 of you were operated on. And stuffed so full of elixir, it's probably coming out of your ears. I think that is pretty much where we left on. You got a little bit of a small response from either Leo or something with the voice of Leo.
And we
The
were
diplomat.
reunited with Anton and Ellison.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. Yep. Anton, you took drugs.
I did indeed.
And that's kind of what...
They were lovely.
I mean, you didn't see the
You took
broker.
my drugs.
You don't know that.
You snuck into my room and took my drugs.
You don't know that.
I'll count my pills later.
Don't metagame.
I'll see the string off the door.
No, you're gonna see him with the Hastings device.
That's just as bad.
Also, Sabbath's gonna say, yeah, I radioed him. You're gonna be like, oh.
Just going back through all my things later, being like, did he touch anything? Did he touch anything? And seeing a couple of pills gone and being like, of course he did. Of course, this is what he did.
Well, what else would he do?
I used to be his drug dealer.
Yeah. Well, apparently you still are, just maybe not 100% intentionally all the time.
No. You haven't actually paid me for drugs in a while.
I don't have that much money right now.
Anyway.
That's kinda how drug deals work.
It's free when you steal
So,
it.
All right.
we'll go ahead and pick up on the Requite, where you have all been escorted to the guest quarters, which Upper Major O'Hokran was staying in, but has relinquished to you all. You're all there. So, what are you guys doing?
Not all there, but...
No, you're there. Oh,
Oh.
yeah. I will say you guys do have an option. You can stay on the Requite if you want for the evening. It's like probably 1 a.m. by this time. Or you can just, leave in the Mabe's shoe.
I want to go spend the night on the whatchamacallit, whatever your boat's called.
We're still working on a name.
Yeah.
Give me one, or everybody in Pendus is going to know it as the Mabe's shoe.
Anyway, yeah, so
We'll
I'm just
figure
gonna
it
stay
out.
on the Requite,
Later.
and it's to his room and has his journal, which
Oh, wait, so
I
you
think
guys,
we're all just in the officers'
you're
quarters.
all going to the Mabe's shoe.
okay, then yes.
No, wait,
Are we?
I'm asking you.
All right,
Are you
I'm
spending the
following
night
right
on
now.
the
We just-
Morlian warship, or
let's
are
see.
you leaving?
we could just leave and then head towards Sunline.
Well,
I'm gonna go stay in my new room that I haven't stayed in yet.
What you guys have?
Don't cause any trouble, alright? Just
Wait, are you guys not coming with me?
no, we are, but not in your room.
Well, I'm coming with you, but not in your room.
Did you guys ever
That'd
relate
be
to
weird.
Anton what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just say we gave him the rundown
Fair enough.
because it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Get the more dramatic side from the third feature.
Just
With like some corrections
Oddly-
for Heisel in there when she's like, no, actually that wasn't quite. It was more like this.
and then I jumped into the hole after him and pressed the grenade to my chest, and he's like looking at Hazel like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay."
you weren't there, eh?
Nobody else was there.
Probably chopped him in the face. Okay.
I guess I have to believe
Anyway,
that part, and it's true.
yeah, so I think Sab can go with onto the Hendissian elixir. I don't know.
I mean, we're calling
Oh
it
yeah, I
elixir
forgot
for
you
now,
called it the
yeah.
elixir
Elixir.
temporarily. Yeah.
It's not great, but it's better than Maeve's shoe.
Yep. Well, it still has Mabe Shoe painted on the side. So.
Mm. We need to deal with that.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, so he's going onto that. So
Yep.
he's gonna be on that ship.
Before you all leave, because military vessel and there are military escorts and all and whatnot, Ohokran would meet you guys before you leave, and would just say, "Well, I figured I don't exactly need to remind you all, but just don't talk about this entire circumstance. Don't go to the press. I've already lectured Casey on it for at least an hour."
Actually, if you wouldn't mind telling her we'd like to see her over on our ship.
Fair enough. I'll go let her and Wilkes know.
Great. And we'll keep quiet, don't worry.
One other thing, I will say that all of, except you two, Ellison and Anton, are witnesses to what has been going on here. There is a possibility that you may be summoned to the proceedings. If you want to, well, keep your name safe, that is. If you don't, there's a chance that you will be ruled as murderers, and that's out of my jurisdiction. So, if you get a court summons, probably take it. I hate that I have to include bureaucracy in this, but like, Isabel is a very prominent official. She's dead now.
We didn't kill her. You did.
Meaning like
You called the coordinates in, or at least,
We didn't know she was on the ship at the time.
where'd you think she was?
I had no idea. We didn't see
Did
her.
you guys really not know that she?
We never saw
We
her.
never
We have
saw her.
plausible
We didn't
deniability at the
know.
very least.
It's
And-
true.
But Pix was on the boat though.
Well, we saw.
we
they
saw a
pigs-
guy riding, or he's
They
the
saw
thing.
pigs
We
off
also
the
didn't
ship.
know that
Technically,
until
we saw
after
Right.
the
the
blew up the ship.
motorcyclist coming at us, so it could possibly be inferred.
Okay, are
but
you
also
arguing
we
this
didn't
just
know.
so that you can like plead ignorance, or are you arguing this because you seriously thought that they weren't on?
Well, I wasn't sure at first.
Okay,
Yeah,
but even after like Pix,
when
Pix came
Pix
after we
when
blew up the
Pig
ship.
after Pix, it was like
The
okay.
Raven had no idea who
probably.
Pix was.
oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and Sab
And the main
too.
appearance of Pix was on the monocycle.
Was that?
The main appearance of Pix was on the monocycle.
That's right.
He could have come from
Yeah.
anywhere.
Come to-
Again, are you are you just saying that because it's actually what you believe, or
Well,
I'm arguing plausible deniability, and also I
Okay.
didn't know because we didn't see Pix
okay?
until
Well, just
after
to tell
the
you
ship
all,
blew up.
they were both
Yeah.
on the ship, so I guess Ohokran wouldn't know.
I guess, yeah, as my knowledge, I maybe would have eventually been like, yes, when Pixar, like, okay, then that they're probably affiliated. But I don't think Sab would have known that. Because he wasn't sure who was kidnapping them at that time. So,
That's fair.
yeah, there might be that loophole. But
Well, with whatever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That most of that entire conversation would be retconned then. I didn't know you guys were.
Arguing plausible deniability.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, even then, you just
Maybe.
didn't know
Yeah.
who she was. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, so Captain Newtinia, thank you for us for the save back there.
Oh, you can thank Jennifer Casey for that one. But
Sure,
I
so-
mean, to be fair, if we knew about the ship, we would definitely take it down like we did. We just didn't know about it. So that's on her. All right. Well,
It's been a pleasure.
of course. Have a good rest of your. Time is it? Oh, morning. Good morning. And then he leaves.
Before we should head up to Sunline before too much hesitation. We need to get your liver looked at.
We should also
Before-
look and see if we can safe.
I agree. We should check out the ruins.
I'd be interested to see if there's any radio parts left anywhere or if they all got blown up as well.
Yeah. And I mean, there's that monocycle.
We should take a look.
Sure.
I call dibs on the motorcycle.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's go, guys.
So I guess we're heading down first, or actually, maybe we should talk with Casey first before we disembark,
Maybe.
Okay.
because that was something that was going to happen last time,
Sounds
right? If she wants to publicize all of our names.
Also,
Oh, yeah,
did
that's
you,
right.
would you have specifically said that she wasn't?
Didn't Casey already
Who?
agree not to mention
Casey.
the Raven Vargonica's name?
Would you have
He
said that she's
technically
marked,
did,
or you
yes.
kept that
Yeah.
His actual
I wouldn't
name,
have said it yet.
not
Ah!
his.
Well, he wants to be. He wants.
I
to
would
be
have mentioned that
identified
she
as
was
having
marked.
been
I wouldn't
there.
have mentioned
Okay,
she was
all right.
marked by Leo.
Yeah, that'll be
Okay.
a good conversation to have.
As far as Anton's concerned, he actually doesn't care for what I'm specifically thinking about.
Okay.
So we'd be waiting our ship for Casey.
Yes. She would visit in just a bit. Ooh, okay. I know it's been a long day, but I know you all want to head out. Where are you all going?
Probably sunlight next.
Okay, I'm probably staying here. They'll probably drop me down soon. So, questions. I want to publish this. I was under attack, and you all assisted me. Should I be keeping that anonymous?
No. Just identify me as
Oh,
Raven
I could say the Raven of Argonica. Yeah. Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me.
I'd prefer you not include my name in anything.
Fair enough. Could I ask your reason why?
It's not the sort of reputation I've been trying to build up, getting involved in things like this.
Fair enough. Did she ever catch your name, Sab?
Mm-mm.
I
I
don't
think he
think
said
so.
some other name.
So on the boat, he was Sybil Long. So,
Right, yeah.
says,
Oh my word, it's to that's what you want. You want to belong.
Oh!
Anyway, so sad as you. Oh yeah. Well, you can say Tibble Long was there if it's favorable and does not mention criminal background. I mean, not saying that there is a criminal background. I'm just saying that you don't mention any sort of criminal background.
If the only thing you're talking about is this, what just happened here?
Well, to be fair, I need to have an explanation in the paper of why I intervened. I didn't just assault.
Oh, we're not
Bella
telling you to
Sconti.
protect Sabale.
Right.
He's just saying don't include his name if there's anything negative about it.
Oh, fair enough. Tibble Long. Really? Nice. Maybe
So-
work on your pseudonyms, but
That just shrugs.
Just
He's
prepare
like,
if you
I have 8, so.
next time having one on hand will be helpful.
Hmm.
So Casey.
oh, I wasn't finished. I need to describe why I was there. So are you fine if I say an anonymous individual was there to question Miss Ascanti? And this individual questioned her on a criminal background and was assaulted by both Pix and Sabella Ascanti herself. I and my brave photographer Wilkes intervened and saved this anonymous person's life.
Is that all you're gonna say?
I want to say more, but
That's fine.
You would just give a fake name. Could do that. Angela Betrayal.
I don't like lying, really. Even if I acknowledge that it's a fake name. Still kind of, it just doesn't sit right with me. I have a bit of a reputation for trying to do as much as the whole truth as I can, even if it ticks people off. Keep that in mind. Well, guess that's just about everything.
Before you leave,
What's that?
why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got the mark?
What mark?
You're outside
Roll a
as well.
survive check.
Hey, I just boosted this. Survive what?
Forcefully.
Resolve?
Yes.
Gonna
Is it worth it?
It's a crew.
It's just going to keep you from talking, I bet.
Mm.
Is it worth using your void point instantaneously
No,
at the
it's
very
not.
beginning of the session?
That's one success and one complication.
Success and one complication.
I'm just so used to being able to reroll on cleverly checks.
Yeah.
I have to be like, I'm gonna, and then I realized it was forcefully, and I was like,
Gee, just a crap ton of mana. You don't remember.
That just
what do I remember about what I just said?
You heard her say, what mark?
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said something. My bad.
Can I roll a check on
Wait,
that to see if I
did
understand
that,
what
did
just
that affect
happened?
all of us?
Just Heisel.
Can I roll a check to figure out what happened?
Well, anyways, if there's some
Possibly.
help
Okay. I will
If I
allow.
understand if there was some sort of intervention, like if that was void magic.
That would be okay.
Because it's suspicious.
I'll check. I'm just trying to figure out what things to apply to it. Study
Study cleverly void lore.
Is Casey wearing gloves?
carefully. Yes.
Study carefully, void lore is the same for me, so.
I'm gonna have Sab do the same
Reed's,
thing.
Okay.
Reed's going to walk up to her
Mhm.
and say,
Critical success.
"It was good meeting you. Goodbye." And he crosses his arms over his shoulders, bows, and then he reaches both hands out. This is how we shake hands in my culture.
And what culture is that? I'm intrigued.
The underworld.
I've seen the underworld before. The criminal. I've never seen anyone shake hands like that.
It's a weird hobby of mine.
Fair enough. Don't see why not.
And with that, he's gonna grab the hands and try to yank the gloves off.
Okay.
Oh!
All right.
Beautiful. Beautifully
Sab got
done.
Fight check.
2 successes.
I got
I got a
successes.
critical success.
What did you apply? Skills. This is very important.
I just applied
void
void
lore.
lore. So critical success on void lore.
So I would say I'm probably going to divide this into 2 separate checks. The first check is just, well, this is hard because this is one, you have to catch that something actually happened. I will go ahead and spoil it. There was no actual indicator. She didn't glow or her hand didn't even glow or anything like that when that happened. So you just saw a conversation happen. You just saw Heisel say, and about the mark you got, and she says, what mark? And Heisel says,
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
so first you have to catch. I don't know. It's hard because I don't want you guys to metagame with the knowledge that, like, for example, Anton doesn't even know about this mark conversation. For all he knows, this could have been just like any sort of like just weird conversation, stuttering, that sort of thing. I always want to allow checks for that sort of thing. So I will not allow void lore at this time because there's no indicator that there would actually be magic. That being said, you can still study. This is a very small detail that is actually taking place, so I am going to have to say carefully. Difficulty of 3.
Would intuition help
one.
with that?
What's that?
Intuition?
Yes, if you've got it.
Would they be able to substitute talk if they wanted to?
I will allow it. It'll yield different results.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, that's a weird thing for Hazel to bring up.
Done
Okay.
all I can for you.
Could I
Yeah,
keep
I
these
rolled
2
1.
dice?
What's that?
Because I basically rolled an 8 and a 9, so that would give me 2. I have a void point, so I can get to 3. If that's okay with you.
Are you doing the talk check? Is that talk or is that study?
The steady.
Okay. Yeah, with three things. That was seems unlike Heisel to just go back on something that you said.
Mhm.
That being said, even with a 3, you can't just like, oh wow, she used powers right there. There's just literally no
Yeah.
visible indication. You know something's fishy going on. That's certain.
Would they
Unrelated
have...
because I still don't know what's related to this.
Yeah.
I obviously wouldn't know, especially that it was Leo. But just a clarification for my benefit.
Mhm.
Lysander tried to use void powers from Leo.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Did his hand glow?
Did not.
Okay.
They also saw what happened outside of the Sibel's
mansion.
manor when
Which is
she asked the guy the question that he hadn't been willing to answer earlier, and he spilled his guts all of a sudden.
yeah. Which
Guess that would
Sab
lower the difficulty
thinks
at
is
all.
very, very weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just weird. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, fight check.
All right, can I argue that this is cleverly because that was a very clever trick geting her to shake both his hands
It
like
was a
that.
little
Okay,
clever.
Kinda
here's
true,
the
though.
thing: is using the cleverly focus. Is it actually clever? Let's see what you roll. So yeah, you can apply it.
All right, fight cleverly. Would this be brawl at all or
No.
no? Okay.
Which, to be fair, she's got a focus and brawling as well to 5, so it's
Yeah.
only benefiting you.
Only one success.
What's the number?
7.
Okay. You yank off the gloves. Actually, she's had a long day.
All right. Is there anything on the hands?
There's nothing.
Where's
Again,
that her?
That's
Again,
a
not that
weird
Anton
green.
would-
Oh, can I have yours?
Not that Anton would know, but
No.
Come
I'm
on,
so-
it's customary.
I'm self-conscious about my hands.
did Lysander have gloves on? Or would I have seen his hands?
Piano gloves.
All right, here. Take my.
I will actually say, okay, during the party, yes, but when he was interrogating you, no.
So would I have seen whether he was marked or not? I knew he was marked. So I assume I would
Right.
have looked.
Probably. He actually was marked.
On the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what had happened in the past, but he wouldn't just walk around willy-nilly with it. But if he knew that you knew about the mark,
Yeah.
he'd take the gloves off.
And he
would have seen it.
directly used it, and it was like a very open sort of like, I'm
Mhm.
using this thing right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Yep.
unfortunately, I have no reason
See,
to
I won the
suspect you to do
game.
anything.
Uh-huh.
So that means I don't have to take my gloves off.
Well, can I have my gloves back?
Yeah, here you go.
She tries to yank the gloves off. All right, yeah, same thing. Fight cleverly.
Did
or
like
forcefully
the
for her.
underworld change since like
I don't suppose I could try to very quickly like
Okay.
help
What'd you get?
him.
One
did the
success.
underworld like
Okay, she got 3.
change?
Okay.
Or...
It didn't.
So
Okay.
I guess his hands were out like this. So
Yeah.
He sees that and he's gonna go.
So, right, she does actually grab both her gloves and yours and takes them back. She's gonna do a perception check to see what's
Alright,
if you
I'm
have
gonna-
anything on your hands.
Can I contest that? Because I'm like realize that and I'm like, whoa.
I will allow it. Yeah. Yep.
Can I
So
use
go.
stealth for that or?
Yeah. Move swiftly. Stealth focus.
All right.
She's perceiving.
Ooh, 1 success.
Okay, she had 2. Ooh, that's a fancy tattoo.
Yeah.
What?
I love getting hand tattoos, but
I haven't seen any hand tattoo.
it's
Mind
none of
showing?
your business. It's brand new.
Well, I can.
That's right. She's gonna hand your gloves back.
He's gonna slip them back
Can I
on.
roll an intuition check on Jacob Brady?
Sure.
Can I join in on that?
All
My own thing. I'm not helping her.
right. Sure. Independent. Yeah.
Yes.
2 successes.
Talk cleverly.
That's what usually I do
Okay.
for insight.
Yeah, I get to use my enhanced cleverness. It's 1 success.
Enhanced cleverness.
my brain.
Do you want to do? Yeah, you are lying. So go ahead and roll a talk.
Deception.
I'll say boldly though, or cleverly if you want.
Cleverly. 2 successes.
Did any of you get 2?
Mhm.
What numbers?
10 and 8.
I got 2 11s.
Okay.
You can probably tell from that he is hiding something significant on his hand.
Hmm.
He really does not want you to see this tattoo.
Levi.
Interesting.
Just because I forgot to mention it for him. What is your passive bonus that you get for being marked by the Daredevil?
+2 to swiftly.
Okay. Yes. So you will get +2. You might not like this, but +2 to boldly.
Oh,
That's
That's
the
helpful.
obvious choice.
Yeah. I'm just saying it might not be like your main one that you use.
it's
all
not
the
my
time.
main thing, but it is one of my strongest styles now.
Right.
You don't
I mean,
have a +9, but
Mhm. Yeah.
But hey, there you go. +2 for that.
Well, that
Huh.
was a bit weird, but alright.
Yeah.
done?
Interesting, customary little oh, what'd you call that right there? A
It's a
greeting.
game.
It's a
Love
game.
It's
war.
from the underworld of Argonica.
What?
I've been to Argonica and I what?
Have you been to the underworld of Argonica?
Have you been around?
Underworld.
Under.
Have you been around all over Pandacia?
I've been all over the world.
Well, I was wondering if you've ever seen anything, I don't know, kind of like bone charms. Been
I've
on the
seen
lookout, haven't seen
dozens of charms.
any odd
Hundreds,
ones.
probably.
What's
What's
the
that?
weirdest ones you've seen?
I mean, I don't know the effects off the top of my head. Sometimes I just see a bone charm and that's
Well,
it.
I mean, odd looking ones you hadn't really seen before. You remember any of the patterns on them as well?
What do you ask? You doing a sort of void lore story angle thing?
I'm not a reporter.
No,
I'd like to make bone charms.
reporters or not, everybody's got a story that they're telling in their mind.
There was a sailor in Jessamine.
Yeah.
He, showed me a little bit about making bone charms. Interested to try myself, but he only gave me one thing, and it was a pattern for something that wasn't particularly useful.
Ooh.
So I was just wondering if you've seen any, especially any odd bone charms. I'm sure the weirder bone charms probably have the most interesting effects. So, if you've seen any like odd bone charms in your life?
Well, our friend was actually just referencing the underworld of Argonica. Black markets in Argonica are an excellent place to look for kind of peculiar bone charms. Bit of a history there from what I hear. Whaling industry's pretty big there, and sailor scrimshaws and that sort of thing. Very popular.
You ever seen anything interesting, Jacob? I'm Raven.
Everybody here knows your identity. It's all fine.
I'm gonna have to get used to that.
Yeah. No. Yes. Maybe.
Which one is it? Not really helpful if you just leave it like that. All of them at the same time.
I don't really know. What interesting things are we talking about again? Bone charms?
Bone charms, void related artifacts, things
Has
like
he
that.
seen any?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Like what?
Eh.
Any
Really informative.
larger sorts of bone artifacts?
What are you looking for? I'm confused.
You're
Because
looking for
there's
rings.
bone charms of all sorts and sizes, but are you just looking for like specific effects?
Well, I'm not quite sure what all sort of effects there are.
Oh boy. Anything from daily use to combat use to persuasiveness or say, oh,
What if daily
Cleanliness.
use and combat use are the same thing?
oh, I'm just saying daily use is in like just things that might affect the everyday person.
Like combat?
The everyday person hopefully doesn't deal with combat.
Like-
Hopefully.
More like bugs.
That's good. Good. Those are
Well,
really
I could probably make one.
Ooh.
I
Could you
haven't.
show me how? I'd be interested to see, actually.
I've never done it before, so we'll see. I might not know how.
Yeah, if you make one successfully that does something like that, I could try and find some other patterns for you.
That might be useful. I'd be willing to part with something if you were had that kind of thing.
Well, think about it.
All right. Well then.
So you're
Oh,
not, you don't remember patterns up the top. It's fine if you don't.
That's just not my wheelhouse. Sorry
Fair
about that.
Well, if you ever do come across, I don't know, some sort of blueprint for bone charms, I don't know. Send it my way, I don't know.
If you make it worth my while, if you've got any stories to tell, any crazy things going on in Pandacia from your perspective,
Yeah.
care to elaborate?
No.
Why not?
Every reason.
Every reason.
Well, for
So you
one, I
can't
have
do it
no
because
particular-
your uncle told you not to.
Yes.
Really? What about your uncle's cousin's? Let's see.
Stepbrother's neighbor's cat.
Yes, that. That person told you not to.
He
That
was
cat.
a dog person.
Was that?
That person who had the cat, he was a dog person.
Weird they owned a cat.
You really do have every reason. I know.
Every reason that matters.
I can't
Besides
argue with
this-
that logic.
You guys
Besides-
are extremely vague.
Well, besides the simple
Man.
fact that, if I were to share
Casey.
anything right now,
Yeah.
that'd be
Could
kind
I
of
walk you back
useless
to the
for me.
ship?
What's that?
Could I walk you back to the requite?
That's it. How come I got more answers out of that guy?
Well, you're going to need to provide something. You're saying that I could give you stories in exchange for something. You don't have the thing right now. So just
Not
because I
really.
do have my part right now doesn't mean that I'm
I just
benefiting.
saved your all's life.
Not me.
Oh, yeah. Fair point. I just saved your all's lives.
I mean,
If you didn't
technically,
know
I
the-
saved my life, but
I'm not so sure about that.
Why?
Oh, nah. You probably don't want to know.
Hand tattoo?
What's that?
Hand tattoo?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Hand tattoo.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
You ever consider get one of those?
you should get one. Those are really cool.
I'm not much of a tattoo person.
So even somewhere else other than a hand? You don't like tattoos?
No, not really.
Why
Not my
not?
style.
You don't like markings in general? That's not your thing? More words?
You should get a raven across your back with its wings spread out across your shoulders.
Oh,
Do you have
that's
one of those?
intense. Do you have one of those?
No, but I want to get one.
How about if anyone ever told you a story and they said, now I'm going to tell you the story, but I don't want you to ever publish it.
Uh-huh.
What if you got that entire story tattooed on your back and then you went around with the back of your shirt like ripped open so that everyone could read it? And that's not technically publishing because it's on your own skin. So it's it's a loophole, but everyone still gets to read it.
Wow. That's a clever way to avoid publishing.
Would you consider
There are
that?
easier ones.
Definitely not.
Oh,
You ever had a tattoo before? Very painful.
Oh.
I don't want to get an entire essay. Okay. Most
Well,
of my
you have a
stories are kind
tattoo
of
then?
long form. What's that?
You say that you ask if I've had a tattoo,
Yeah.
and you say they're quite painful as if you had experience, but you said you're not a tattoo person.
No. But I can learn from others.
Yeah, so could I.
Yeah. But it sounded like you didn't know anyone that had.
I can try giving you a tattoo.
No thanks.
Casey, can I
Yes.
give you a walk back to the ship?
What's that?
Can I give you a walk back to the ship?
Fine. Keep my eyes on you, folk. You're up to something.
Let me know if you want to know anything.
Yeah,
Except I can't tell
We
you about
do.
this ship.
we do.
That's fair.
We do very much appreciate all your help that you do. Just
Yeah,
my
send a
advice
thank
is
you
just
card.
don't meh, we're very happy that you protected us,
Hmm.
and we don't want you to not protect us.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, so be nice when people talk to you.
Sorry, say that again.
Be nice when people talk to you.
What do you mean by that?
People just ask questions sometimes.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
He's just telling you not to screw us over.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, know you guys want to be done with me. But I have a dictator that wants me dead right now. If you guys are going to say, well, don't tell the world about us or else, get in line.
Which dictator?
Oh,
not what he's
that's
trying to
Admiral
say.
Irving Holler.
Never met him.
Yeah. Crystolian guy. Navy man.
Oh, well, I'm not so much about.
Well, I guess if someone wants you dead, it's a good sign you've done something important.
Or it's a sign that you're annoying.
A lot of people
you know
want me
what?
dead.
I think it's at least with him, I think I had the right kind of annoying.
Sometimes there is a right kind of annoying.
Oh, absolutely. You can get so many answers that way.
You should learn to do that, Anton.
I can.
He can. He just hasn't figured out the right kind yet.
Yeah.
Well,
honest.
I haven't figured out the kind that doesn't make people want to kill me, but it sounds like she hasn't either, so. In
Nope.
good company.
Reason I'm here in this smelly portion of the world.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not against. I don't think that you'll turn us in. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I don't want to turn.
I don't want you to take information that we find very highly prized something that people would pay a high price for the knowledge that we have. So I advise you keep the knowledge that we have acquired and have not decided to give you to us. Do you understand?
Absolutely not. I'm
I don't
totally
really either.
lost.
Insight check.
I guess
Yeah, go
inside check.
if you want to.
I guess
Can I
inside
speak
check.
Sab?
Complication.
Yes.
Yeah, one success.
Guess Sab will do it, Sam.
It sounds honest. It sounds like she's telling the truth. She's lost with what Sab was saying.
Complication and a success.
Sab gets a critical success.
She's
read
telling
Sab.
the truth. She has no idea what you're going on about.
I'm gonna
Wisdom.
insight check you about that. Oh, the results are I didn't communicate it, I guess.
So I can just say it a bit more clearly.
Okay. You made that man talk just like that. And Heisel just stopped asking a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
When?
just saying. I care about these people.
Wait, question.
Don't mess with us.
What question?
I like you. You're a cool person.
Which
Thank you.
question?
And I like that you saved us also. And also, I like that
Is
you
it
took down
confusing you two?
Ascanti.
Yeah.
And just a lot of stuff. Just
Good to
Hear
hear.
as much as me.
I don't have enough friends in this world.
don't play crazy, okay?
Don't what?
Don't play crazy. Violent. Don't.
Let's just
I'm watching.
get you back to
Back
the
to
requite.
You really want me back on that boat, don't you?
Not really. I just don't see what else we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm just deciding whether I should press on or not.
Press on about what?
What you guys are up to. I mean,
What
I
we're
admitted
up
I have a
to.
little side project of trying to figure out what's really going on in the void, for example.
Well, might be a good resource for that.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
Well, then, do you mind telling me?
If you make it worth my while.
I definitely can.
If you have a side project
Hmm?
about this, you already learned anything?
Most of what I've learned has been really, really poorly written rumors. But in a bit of cohesiveness every now and then. Some of the more sane. That's relative. I've met some insane people that say the same thing as well. The 8 outsiders you listed off, I've heard those a lot. And though there's a couple variations with some of the stories that I've heard, I don't know. Seems to be that's what's going on.
It is.
One person said my dog was the outsider.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe
Oh man,
she
you
is,
should go to
don't
the
know.
tabloids with that one. Oh man.
I mean, if you want to publish that, her name's
Hey.
Bill Sokolov.
Ernie.
Her name's Bill Sokolov.
Wow. That is a great story in the making right there.
And we gave you that one for free.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Right,
a taste
yep.
of what else I could bring.
All right. You know what? I'm tired. Just know that, listen, if you guys are up to no good in this void forsaken land, I will find you out. I find out what kind of forces operate, what spies and organizations and gangs operate across the globe. I have a lot of experience under my belt.
Good.
So I'll see you all at... No, I'm not going to, honestly. You can walk me back if you want.
Great. Let's do it. I'll see the rest of you in a minute if you want to head down and start looking through the ruins.
I'll see you again, Raven.
So, as we're kind of leaving, as we're far enough away from them that they're not able to hear,
Mhm.
Without looking at Casey, I would just kind of say from as we're walking together. You know, I think you might be more useful to me than I gave you credit for, Casey, and I might be more useful to you.
That's good to hear. Sorry if I came on a little too strong back there. I
Oh, I respect it.
get answers that way sometimes.
Resemble it.
Yeah.
I have a couple organizations that I think you might want to know about that I'd really appreciate a look on.
All right.
The outsiders were well, you know there was another outsider first, and then he
Alright.
disappeared, and now there's 8 more.
Yep.
I haven't learned the whole truth about it yet, but the truth of how that happened is wrapped up in these two factions,
Okay.
the Protectors. They used to be
Oh, like the
Empress
League of
enemies.
Protectors.
Yes.
Yeah, I know them.
I'd appreciate any information on them you could get, and
Okay.
I think one of my friends asked you about the Ebony Pervasion.
Which one of you asked her about the Ebony Pervasion? Didn't you ask? I feel like you were talking to someone else.
No,
about that.
I was talking to
He's
the
asked multiple
admiral.
times.
Yeah, he has.
I've been asking.
Oh yeah, the captain.
The captain.
Yeah. Okay, so not Casey.
Not Casey.
Yeah. Huh. I've heard that one tossed around a little bit.
A bit more secretive. As much as the Protectors would like to pretend they're.
Can you tell
I'm,
me if Sibel Ascanti was involved in this faction dispute?
I don't know that she was. It may be that she was, and I just didn't know. I don't really know how all the pieces tie together just yet. In fact, that's kind of why I'm asking you for help. And providing some in turn by telling you what I know about them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you look into them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Protectors are a very, very slimy and secretive bunch.
I think they know what's best for the world.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to disagree.
Yeah. Only I can do that. A joke.
Here's my radio frequency.
Oh, excellent.
If you have any more questions about either of them, we can
Absolutely.
find a time the rest of my friends aren't around. I don't want them to know that I told you this.
Understandable. And if you ever...
And if you come up with any more information, I'd like to know it.
Will do. I will radio you. If you have any information you want to give me, I have my own radio frequency. All right. I'm going to sleep. Goodbye.
See ya. Then I'll join the rest of them.
All right. Yes,
Looting.
you're finally back on the ship. Good job.
I'm so tired.
Do you want to rest?
Yeah, probably. Where's my room?
Oh, I don't know if we showed it to you. I'll show you. Sab goes down there to the deck. It's this one here. Or that. Oh, this
What is
one
this?
here.
Are you showing him to an
Yeah,
actual crew room?
He shows him the right room.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Ooh.
That's it.
By the way, I left all my forge and forge stuff downstairs, next to the engine.
Is it explosive forge stuff or just like?
I mean, it's not put together.
Okay.
I need to do that tomorrow.
Okay, that works. I'm just gonna go to bed. That just goes down the hall.
It's
to his room.
fairly. Mikhail's also going to fork down a room and just pop down into a bed.
How high off the ground are we?
What's that?
How high off the ground are we?
Right now, we're probably like 3,000 feet in the air.
3,000 feet.
Mm-hmm. You all will start to descend. Oh, wait, no. I'm just going to infer that you told Allison that you're going to Sunline.
Well, after we loot the rooms.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so where are y'all headed to?
Better stay here until the morning and then head off to Sunline.
Just stay here floating in the air?
I mean, we can sit down if you want us to.
I think I prefer that. There's always weather, that sort of thing. Generally want to be moving. Generally.
We just need a little bit of rest and then to take a look around before we leave.
Fair enough. I'll park us down at the dock. All right. And unless you all have anything else you want to take care of tonight?
Well, I mean, if we're leaving, then we might as well search before we leave.
Tonight, like before you go to bed on the airship.
Well, if we're about to go back to the dock instead.
Yeah, you're going to the
Yeah,
Triptych
I think
airship
we might
dock.
like to go out and search the wreckage and stuff for morning, just so we can beat anybody else to it.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair, honestly.
So I think Reed's gonna go and like rest until we land. Yep, and ready to.
Okay, you guys are actually still fairly close to Triptych, so it'd probably be just about an hour to get back.
Yeah, that's enough of a nap.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm not gonna punish you too much for like missing sleep, but if you continuously miss it, I'm gonna have to inflict some sort of penalty. Exhaustion is the thing.
As much as I would like for Anton
So wait, I
to
missed
sleep,
something. What's happening?
he's not going to.
First off, one quick question about exhaustion. How late did you stay up writing that paper that you mentioned?
What paper?
The 15-page one?
Oh, I haven't finished it yet. I'm gonna finish
Oh.
it tonight.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh dear.
I did 7 pages today,
There you go.
so
Nice.
I've got like 3-4 pages left.
Okay,
Nice.
that's good.
There you go. Man, totally thought you would have been like staying up till 3 a.m. I made a bet with
Some
myself.
people don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing that tonight.
Ah, there you go.
Some
Right.
people procrastinate
Yep.
the
Yeah.
doing of the 3 a.m.
Yeah.
All right.
Some people can't speak.
Rachel?
That's me.
What are we doing?
You're landing at the Triptych Dock.
We're not searching the.
Well, we're landing so we can go on foot to the
Oh,
wreckage.
okay, okay.
We're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to the
There we go.
wreckage?
That's the piece I was
Yeah.
missing. There we go.
If you guys want to go straight to the wreckage, she'll just land
Yeah.
over there.
We could do
Well,
that.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Yep. Because you got a crane there too.
the Sab will go along. Will rouse himself.
Oh, we got a
and come out.
crane.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we got some hooks.
You guys, you've got some. It's not quite a crane, but it's some hooks that are able to elevate cargo into the cargo
Would
hold.
they be strong enough to lift a safe?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they hauled an object about as big from the protectors earlier.
Okay. So as soon as we're there, I think we're all gonna get out and start looking for
Mhm.
Yeah.
stuff. Reed's looking for the safe in particular.
All right. Everybody, first make a perception check. Everybody that's there.
Steady.
Michaela's not with you. He's.
What are we checking for?
What's this one?
What's that?
What are we checking for?
This is perception.
One
Just
success.
steady, carefully perception.
Okay.
Dang it. Was so close.
What'd you get?
I got a 2. And I wish it was a critical success, but it is not. Just a success.
I got 1 success.
2 successes.
Only 1.
Sab got 2.
Everyone got 1 except Sab. Sab got 2.
Which is surprising because I was like, oh, I don't really mind. Like, oh, okay, well, there we
Sometimes
go.
that's just how it be.
Yep. For all those at home, Spencer has been taking pretzels.
Yes.
The lovely pretzels that have been given to us by my mother, who will give them to me, and they're very good.
They're good pretzels.
And we are not sponsored,
Thanks, Mrs. Bundy.
but
but
like,
if the pub pretzels
yeah.
want to sponsor us,
yes,
you know?
Please do.
If Mrs.
Please-
Bundy
please
wants
do.
to sponsor us, give us $1. We'll,
Probably a
we'll
more
take it.
reasonable ask.
Okay. So, wait, who rolled the 1?
1
We all
success.
got 1s.
Oh, who rolled the 2? Okay. Wow. Yeah. Sorry.
Also, I'm more focused on finding pics. Just,
Okay.
if that
Yep.
I'm
changes
looking
anything.
for
Understandable.
radio parts in the safe.
Or any
Okay.
evidence of pics.
Yep.
Not necessarily his body, but something about him.
So, you would see pretty quickly. You'd look down. As you guys are, after you've landed, she'd probably want to keep a little bit of distance. You know, exploding house. Might be safe to not land directly next to it. And as you all are approaching, the rest of you are all looking for those specific things in mind. You would see completely dark out, but you can see in the bushes top of what looks like a cream-colored Stetson. That's a cowboy hat.
Sab just kind of nudges the people, or everyone just points it out basically to them.
It's facing you,
Not facing me.
all of you.
What on earth does that even mean? in
When
any
you point it
practical
out.
manner?
Well, that means
We've got company.
yeah.
Oh, like it's sitting on the rubble, not like it's buried in the rubble.
No, it's in a bush.
In a bush.
So it's not buried in rubble.
Mm-mm.
You feel like coming out if you're just skulking there all night.
I was thinking about asking you the same question. Mind telling me what you're doing here?
Well, obviously we're going through this abandoned wreckage.
Mind telling me what you're doing here?
Have you been
Going
looking around seeing a dead
through-
body of someone? Well, that's unspecific.
Have
Hey,
you?
There are numerous dead bodies around
I
here. This is a
mean,
crime scene.
the weird, creepy guy that was. You would know about. You would have told him about the glowing blood.
Yeah, there's
Have you seen any glowing blood anywhere?
Glowing blood. Are you next to kin or something?
no.
For the glowing blood guy? No. Well, no.
He tried to kill us earlier.
Yeah.
I don't technically.
Oh,
know
so
who
you
he
were
is.
involved with this building exploding.
Well, there was
I
this
wasn't, I
big
was gonna
fight,
see it.
and then this one guy with glowing eyes basically was gonna blow up the building, then blew up the building. So he seemed a little voidy, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna make sure, like, he's gone or contained.
All right. I'm
Are you like? Do you have some legal? Is there like some legal stuff we need to sign
Are
for
you,
doing
a
this? Like,
marshal
are
or
you
anything?
like a marshal or like? Is this okay for us to do? Like, we're just.
make it okay.
What's that mean?
Oh, do I need to buy some papers, some permits or something?
Yeah, some paperwork might be a good idea.
Oh, okay.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Yes.
Because that seems a little sus.
Yeah. So are you like an actual marshal or are you a swindler?
I'm not a marshal.
So you're a swindler.
Two
Are you
successes.
swindling us? You can't give us
with the
paperwork.
Triptychi in regular religion.
Oh, that's different.
I don't think we really need any paperwork for this.
no, I mean,
What's the inside check?
2 successes.
The inside check? Yeah. He's not saying you need a permit for this.
yeah.
He's saying we need a bribe.
He's asking for a bribe.
I'm aware of that.
Yep.
I don't think we need any paperwork for
So-
this.
Well, that's if you want to go illegal on us, then sure.
Well, it sounds to me like you all were participants in an active crime scene.
I wasn't actually, so if you could just tell
Innocent
me if you've seen any
participants,
glowing blood
actually.
anywhere.
What's that?
Innocent participants.
Well, regardless, I don't see any guilty participants right here, right now.
Yeah, they didn't quite make it out.
Really. So I'm here to take the word of the living people out of this situation.
I mean, if you
Yes.
want to talk to the dead, you can do that too. But I mean, it's not advised.
The story
But
will
how
be
much
in
did you want-
They don't really talk much.
The story will
I
be
mean,
in papers in the next few
Depends
days.
where you're
anyway.
at.
Can I make
Um,
a perception to
do
see
you-
if he's alone?
Well, that's a good idea.
I'm gonna.
How much do these papers cost? Is this like a formal thing? Do I need to sign off somewhere, or can you take care of the paperwork, or like? Do I
Not
just
exactly rich?
like I got some money, I think. So if I need to like if there's like a fee for like the
Yeah, you
processing.
can call it that.
Okay, yeah, fee for processing.
You ever interested in riding a motorcycle?
What?
Amazing machines. Don't have
Yeah.
one myself.
Pretty nice one out in the front lawn. If you were to go take that home, fix
So
it
there
up,
is.
might be a better use of your time than Patronus.
Fair enough.
That was
We'll have a good night now. He's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
move
gonna
over
be the
towards.
Raven cycle.
He's gonna
I
go.
don't trust you with one of those.
He's gonna start walking over towards the motorcycle.
I don't necessarily trust that you wouldn't try
I
to.
got
run
like
on the
20
airship.
notes. Do you want that? Like, just
Why?
yeah.
He's
He
fine.
just got bribed.
What?
You don't bribe someone
I'm not
twice.
bribing
If someone
him.
says, "Yeah, I accept
Good
the bribe,"
grief,
you don't
wow.
give them more money.
You guys.
Once
Good
they accept
grief.
the bribe, you just
All right,
stop
so like
giving them the
20,
money.
He's
some
trying to
Morley and
swindle you.
modes.
I'm good.
There is no
You know what?
paperwork.
You can fill it out by itself.
I would appreciate some money for that paperwork.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You
Don't
do any
give him
paperwork.
money
Don't
for
give
him
that.
money.
He's not going to give
That's
you any
good.
paperwork. He's just going to take your money. I'll draw your picture for you if you want.
Trying to find my
Picture?
pencil.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right.
No.
What?
Yeah. What
Well,
was
Oh, whatever
I'm
you want
just
to do with your money's
disagreeing
your
with
own.
you.
when I
I'm
go?
not good.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
But I could draw you
Can I
good.
try to sneak up behind him?
Yeah, make a stealth
Do
check.
not.
No.
Can
He's
I
going to move
can I
stealthily.
assist because I'm being
Do
a
I see him
distraction?
sneaking up behind the poor
Perception
guy?
check. Sneak check. Move quietly. What do you want to do?
I'm saying, can I please count? myself as helping with the talk check because I'm distracting him.
I will allow it. Yep.
The Sab would see what the
Never mind.
Raven's doing.
2 successes.
3 successes.
That's gonna be nothing.
1 success from him. So you see him, he doesn't see you.
Seriously, Raven, what are you trying to do to that poor man?
What's with the mask?
I am the Raven of Argonica.
It's an aesthetic thing.
How far away am I from him?
Good question.
I've drawn him with the mask.
That's too far. I was gonna say 17 feet. You're about 10 feet away from him.
No! A criminal! He points behind him.
Make a persuasion check.
That we talk boldly. 1 success.
My dude. Ow. Go 4 successes.
4?
4. 2 crits.
Just give it up.
Listen,
Let
all
him
I'm
leave.
saying is if I do my job, I would detain anyone that was a witness to this sort of event.
But
You're not doing your
leaving.
job. And if I was doing my job as a vigilante,
I don't-
I would beat you up.
You're a vigilante.
Yes.
And you're
Not a
looting
good
a
one.
crime scene
Anyway,
secretly without telling any of your
You could lose your
fellow
job for that,
marshals.
you know.
Right? Think they're really going to take your word on that, though?
But
Well,
he's
the
not
word
going to
of
lose his
4
job, and
people.
we're not going to have any more unpleasantness this evening. We're just going to let him
Why don't
leave.
I just take that motorcycle and leave?
That's what I'm thinking. Go
Good
ahead.
plan.
Unless you wanted a picture, but it sounds like you don't.
Oh,
Raven, unless you want a little more information on you to be public, I'd advise you cooperate.
Are you threatening me?
I'm threatening you. As I've seen reason doesn't work with you, I'm resorting to other means.
What?
As I've seen reason doesn't work with you, I'm resorting to other means.
are you going to stop this guy at all from getting on the motorcycle? Okay.
Really?
I'm so sorry, because it's a really cool motorcycle. It's better than most
Right.
ones, too. But he's...
In that case, as soon as he turns around to go and get on the motorcycle, I think I'm going to try to sneak up behind him again.
Sav goes up to the guy and just hands him 10 Moreland notes. It's like, will that be good? Be able to take
It'll
care
be
of it.
absolutely fine.
That's awesome.
You all have a
You
fine
didn't
night.
need
Cool.
to bribe
I'll go
him. We already bribed
All right,
him.
I'll go and get the we'll go get the paperwork later.
We
Sounds
all
like a
know
plan.
it's a bribe.
But I'm good to go right now to take care of this stuff.
All right.
Just do whatever I want here. Kind of.
How about it?
All right.
Try and leave the bodies alone, though.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
We will try.
Leave the bodies alone, please. I may not be completely honest, but we still probably need to know what exactly happened here.
Absolutely.
He's gonna inside check you. 2 successes? Are you lying, or are you being deceptive right now?
I think he's just messing with him.
Oh, okay, alright. Uh-huh.
Respect that.
Alright. He gets on the motorcycle, and... Wow, he must have seen a lot of races. Yeah, this is a pretty difficult check, because he's never operated one before. But he just gets on it and just
So
starts away.
I think what we're seeing is that in the Dishonored world, appreciating something and watching it and reading about it is as good as actual experience. Because Ellison has also just been like, I did all my research because I like it. And then she's just great at flying.
I know. Yep.
Now let's go see about the safe, alright?
Right. And we
So we need to
have
find the safe.
permission. So legally, he gets in trouble.
Wait, Aiden didn't do anything.
Yes.
Is there anything behind that? Or is it just,
Just it stands up in court. I just was going to buy permission. This man offered, so I did.
Bribes don't stand up in court.
It wasn't a bribe.
It was a bribe.
Did
It was a bribe.
I say it was a bribe? Did he
It was
say it was a
understood, and if he
bribe?
says it's a bribe in court and doesn't give you any documentation, then the court's
Oh,
not going to
yes.
do anything.
Yes, of course, a man will
Also, how are you
admit to
even going
him
to prove that
getting
you
a
gave him
bribe.
10 notes? I'm not going to testify to that.
Oh, well, you guys.
I
have
told you not to do
testify.
it.
I'd rather beat the guy up.
I know.
He's gone, though.
Hunt him down.
Well, as long as he didn't take the safe with him on the motorcycle, we're pretty
Okay,
good.
He's
let's
a
go
criminal.
loot. Let's go loot
All right.
Sabella, Scampi,
Um,
and dance on a grave.
Can you all do another? It's a study check investigation
Alright.
focus. However,
Ooh.
1 success.
What is this? It's another study.
mm-hmm. Carefully.
Eat that. 1 success.
Anybody get anything higher than 1 success?
2 successes.
2 successes. What are you looking for?
I guess he's looking for the vault. He's looking for kind of valuable things. He's looking for, I guess, picks too. He's probably looking for one other item, but I don't want him to find it, so we'll just.
Could I ask what that is?
It's the Beau Stash.
Oh yeah, it's
It was close.
weird to
the
call
whole-
it. It's almost like a lance or
Yeah,
a spear
the lance
or a
staff.
staff. It could be called all of those. It's a particularly designed element for picks. He built it himself.
Yeah.
So, along with Sibel's help.
Hmm.
Managed to find the safe.
Okay.
It is lodged in the rubble, still intact, and I will say it's going to be almost impossible to find any valuables other than the ones inside. There's
Yeah.
a reason that you put valuables in the safe, because if a
Mhm.
fire happens, your safe should be fine if it's well built. Other things, probably not. In fact, some of the building is still smoldering a little bit, because explosions cause fires.
Would you alert us to that?
Yeah, probably. Like, hey guys, I found the vault.
Can I just like try to really quickly run through all the combinations? Just like
My goodness.
do that thing where you
So
start at
no,
0, 0,
no,
0 and just
no,
keep
no,
going and it
no.
never works because you always
No,
get
this
bored.
might be a special lock. Don't do that.
What kind of?
I mean, there are some
do
that are
you-
just like,
It went through an explosion. What do you think it's gonna do?
I'm just saying, sometimes they have special locks that just, you have limited access and then bam, locks down. Also, she was super paranoid and
You don't think an explosion will lock it down?
Would I have got a momentum from the contested
I'm
check
just
where
saying
I
that
had one
explosion
die
doesn't
above
like
his?
go through like 45 combinations in
against
like
who?
5 seconds.
Jacob.
No momentum gain from
Well, but-
interpersonal checks.
And maybe
Sorry.
just like 3.
Can I start examining the safe?
We just
looking
take
for
it
any
up
weak
into the ship.
points
And
that
then
might
what?
be able to
Sure.
crack it?
Sure,
combination?
make a perception check, hidden difficulty.
Or like
Can I aid him with that?
melt it or something, or like
We're
cut
not
a
gonna
hole.
melt it.
Okay, cut a hole.
He's an
into it
engineer.
or something.
Yeah.
like
Can he
that.
use
What?
his engineering focus, and can he say that he knows kind of how safes work a little bit, so he can cleverly look for where the weak spots on a safe potentially would be?
No, this is
They
hard.
are also
You're not much of a
engineered-
thief, are you?
They're also engineered not to have weak spots.
Yeah, but he's an engineer. Like he builds.
I
stuff all
know.
the
It's
time.
just weird thinking like if
built-
you can build a crossbow, then you know how to crack a safe.
I mean, you know what he built earlier? That
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's okay. All right,
that's
you know what,
basically
that's
a
fair.
safe.
All right, yeah, you can do that. Yep, I will allow it.
It's 1 success and 1 complication.
And a second success added from my help.
Okay, it's a safe. There's one way in.
Soon,
I guess you could maybe hypothetically use explosives to blow it in, but you don't know how. At
I'd
least
like
off the top of
to-
your head. That'd probably be a separate check to do that.
you also did.
Spence,
Yep.
No.
can I take a
Welcome to
chaos
Pack
to
House.
use void whispers or city whispers?
Yes. Yep.
So that means that you're going to give me one more detail about a situation or a character. In this case, the situation being cracking the safe. Maybe something I've heard around, rumor, some kind of detail about safe cracking. I don't know, just anything I could have heard from rumors or hearsay or conversations.
Yeah. A little hard in this particular situation to hear a rumor about that sort of thing.
Doesn't have to be a rumor, but just something I've heard around.
Hmm. I'm sorry, I just don't know what information I could give you with this.
I think I might have misled you a little with the rumor saying that seems to be the implication of the ability, but it never outright states that's what it has to be.
What kind of information do you think you would want?
Anything about how the safe works, anything about how people generally tend to crack safes, anything about
Well, it's
I don't know.
that's the thing. It's just a safe. There's a combination, 4 digits. There's no rumor or anything. Sure, you might have heard a little bit about like the whole stethoscope trick of like listening for the tumblers and the pins and whatever. But I will subtract 1 chaos because that's not really
Sure.
worthwhile. But there's just not, at least about the safe. There's just nothing I can add to this
No,
particular
okay,
situation
okay.
from that. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I hate that. That's like the
Can-
first
That's not
time.
Can
looking
I
in
just
this
try to
direction,
crack
I
it?
think.
Just
Yeah.
put my ear up to it and work on that way. Just listen for the clicks.
Absolutely. Yep. Make a tinker check carefully. And lockpicking focus if you got it.
Can I assist? Use it like listening for
Yes.
stuff.
I'm really bad at this kind of thing.
All right, so would that be tinker or study?
Tinker.
Tinker, can I argue quietly, like quietly listening for any sounds coming from that, or would that be
Nah, this
carefully?
is carefully.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who am I helping? That's 2 more successes.
Right, so that's 3.
5. Wow.
Oh. Okay.
Mm.
Thab puts his hand on the lock, closes his eyes, reaches into his jacket, pulls out Hootie. Hey, Hootie. You know the lock combination?
There was a rune in there. Blueprints.
Okay,
A book.
cool. Anything like about the book or
In the
just
precious chest. By the foot of his bed. That's what you get.
What?
Is the safe the chest?
Is there a library in town?
okay? So
I'm gonna say probably not here. Sorry, you're a
Can I
bit too far
try
away.
the like running through a bunch of combinations thing?
First off, you guys rolled a 5 on cracking it.
Wait, what?
We did?
You said you rolled.
No, oh
3
no,
and a
3
3.
3 with his. I could make it 4.
Okay.
I could make it 4 if that's
Okay.
necessary though.
A 3 will get you something.
Okay.
You're turning the tumblers and you're not hearing anything. And you're probably not you don't think that this is because of they're just very expertly built and somehow muffled.
Can we
So
just try to open it?
What's that? Locked.
Okay. Why else would we maybe not be hearing anything? Is it just
You gotta take that information with what you will.
Let's take the safe, bring it on board the airship, and then we can keep working on it tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do that.
fair enough?
So what was it that he heard again from Hootie? It was the rune.
There was a rune in there, as well as some blueprints and a book. Precious chest by the foot of his bed.
Okay, so there was a rune in there.
So how did Sibel like to crack safe?
Rune in there. The rune there. Blueprints. Book. Precious chest by the foot of his bed. Okay. Oh, maybe I need to like teach him like English. Then he can just like not use random, I don't know, poetry. Sorry. She used explosions.
Yes.
Yes.
So she used explosives. You would remember that, contrary to most explosive personalities, she was never excessive in the use of explosives. She was always precise with when she would crack safes or locks and that sort of thing. Just doing bare minimum that was required so that the least amount of noise could be heard, but the lock could still be cracked.
Okay.
You can remember, though, that when it came to safes, you probably saw her crack a couple. She would always put a little bit of explosives, probably near the hinges.
Okay. So she would usually put a little bit of explosive by the hinges and stuff.
How much exactly?
That's a study check to remember that. That's
Well,
studied carefully.
If this is her safe, I don't think she might have had it designed so that didn't work.
Well, I think it's better than trying this thing until
Yeah. All right.
we run out of patience and then doing it anyway.
I'll get Ellison to start loading the thing up.
Well, give us a minute and
Right.
figure out if we want to do this first. If we decide to try and blow it up, I don't want to do that on the ship.
In the
Okay,
meantime,
but
I
more
might
of
as well
those
try a few combinations.
militia show up. We don't have enough money or motorcycles to bribe all of them.
Good point. Maybe we do this somewhere else. Okay.
All right. So you're just, what are you
So
doing?
maybe. I'm thinking he's gonna roll to try and remember, and then, but probably just try and get them. Probably go over and get the airship to just take the chest.
Okay. Roll a study check first. Study carefully.
Okay. One success.
It was a small amount. Sorry. It definitely wasn't sticks. That's for sure.
How much
Very
whale
small.
oil would it take to obliterate something of that size?
Obliterate?
Okay, maybe that's the wrong word choice. To
Also, a house just blew up
structurally
underneath it.
compromise.
That's going to be a tinker check to
But
kind of think through.
Wait, guys, I have an idea. I got this. He points at his leg. This can kick down doors.
You need to
This is
reload it.
safe.
Yes,
With another whale oil
yeah.
canister.
And probably I need a few, like, whale oil canisters. But, like, I could probably just kick the door down.
I mean,
You're
they
gonna
are
hurt
made
yourself.
not to.
Would
Get
crush
kicked
whatever's
down.
inside.
No, it's gotta, well,
It is a steel safe.
They're kind of made not to be able for you not to be able to do that.
I mean, yes, but also it exploded, so, and
Well,
is
it
now
exploded,
here.
then it's
What
fine.
if we use my forge and equipment and try to melt a hole in the side?
Yeah, that just
That's a
sounds,
better idea.
that's good.
In
I
the
think that
meantime, you
sounds
mind
good.
if I just try a few?
Yeah, just go ahead. Sure.
It's now going to try to do the thing.
All right.
It's like as fast as
Yeah,
possible.
go
just
ahead and roll a
running through
quickly check.
combinations.
This is not going to be every possible combination
Fair enough.
because that's just going to take.
Yeah, that's why everyone always gives up when they try to do that.
Yep.
Because 999. If it's like a 3-number combination, it's 999 possible.
Yep. It's also a 4-digit combination.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, so even though you are quite fast, it'd probably take at least 8 hours to do this.
Spence,
Yes.
what's the year Iskantite was invented?
Good question. I don't think you know that off the top of your head, but I will allow a study check to remember.
It's got to be 18 something. You want to try that? If you would voice that, then I might try starting at 1800.
Well, first of all, one success. Give me a second on that one.
That's a bit too niche. Sorry. Difficulty's probably a 3. That's
I mean, what
very
numbers
little.
would be important to her? The year she invented Iskantite, maybe?
Seb
I'm gonna-
starts to think, does he remember when she invented Scantite?
I'm going to start by flipping the first two to 1-8
study check.
and then move on. Starting
Cleverly?
at 1800 and going up from
What's
there.
that?
Cleverly?
Yeah, I'll allow cleverly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start
Decide
at
to
1800
use
and go up from there, and I rolled 2 successes.
Also, just a little side thing that I'd really enjoy, but if you have character backstories with like pretty long backstories, if you could send me a timeline of when major life events happened.
Major
would
life events
gr-
happened.
Major life events. That would greatly help me with this sort of thing.
Okay. He just got one success on that.
One success.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly the year, but she was working on it when you were with the ghosts.
Okay. So that's
Want to say your thing again?
Hmm?
Say your thing again.
Oh, yeah. So I've started at 1800 because they're talking about that.
Yeah.
And as soon as they said that, I just moved to 1800 and go up from there.
Okay. I will say that with a 1,
Um,
you can remember, you know your own time. So she was not experimenting with any sort of explosive. Okay, so you knew she was probably like she probably turned 20 at like 1859. So unless she was a child prodigy, she's not going to be developing anything until after that. So
Okay.
you can start at that if you want to.
And I'm doing 2 successes.
Okay.
I did 2 successes. That's what I rolled.
Because you're just looking for a single combination, there's no check required. If you get it, you'll
fair
just
enough.
get it. But you go through all of there's only like 20 years between 1859 and today for you guys. So you go through all those, nothing, no luck.
It's not the year.
Hmm.
Well, you said 1859 and now, which is when she was 20, would have been an earlier date in her life, maybe.
What was her favorite number?
Who has a favorite number?
I do.
What's your favorite number?
I'll start going down.
752.
I'll go down a few years from
You
1859.
add 7 and 5, and you get 12. That's also one of my favorite numbers. You add 5 and 2, you also get 7, and that's the first number in my favorite number.
And if you had 7 and 2, you get 9, which is...
Also a pretty cool number.
He's got a solid defense on this.
Got a good point. Yep.
Weird,
Alright.
but okay.
Hmm.
Let's get it back on the ship. We can keep thinking about it there.
Yeah.
All right, make a quick tinker check. Whoever wants to do it, you can assist the main person, but all of you can assist if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moving the
it's-
thing.
Yeah.
Probably
You'll
Is
say
it-
hatching
Wait,
hooks to it.
tinker check?
Raven Man.
Wait, so,
Sure, you're trying to evade the cops.
okay, so what are we doing? We trying to hook up the safe to the crane and everything? Can I
Yep.
use engineering with that?
Yes.
All right, so
And you
I'll
rolled
tinker.
15. I rolled an 18.
Oh shoot. I'm gonna use a void point to re-roll this.
Complication.
Yes.
You said
This is something.
Tinker.
This feels like something dangerous
Roll
to
it.
have a complication with.
Carefully, cleverly, swiftly.
1 success.
2 successes.
And 2
You're-
successes.
Who's the main person?
Me.
Okay, so you got what?
2 successes.
Plus another 3 from the
critical
2 of us.
success?
Yeah, you guys got it. It's on there. It's raised up very quickly. You have a safe. Good job.
Cool.
Alright.
Let's.
Can we similarly roll for a collective think tank on potential combinations she might have wanted to use?
Yeah, Anton's.
Maybe we
If,
should
if
just
we're doing
try
that,
and-
Anton's just going to be taking suggestions and running through them as fast as people can
All
get through.
right. Do
Or-
a study check carefully. One
Alright.
can lead and the rest can assist. Think tank.
Carefully or cleverly?
Cleverly, I'll allow.
Mind if
I'll
I?
think cleverly.
Okay.
Mind if I lead?
Yeah. Stay
Can we all
clever.
do this?
I'll assist.
You can assist, but
Okay.
only one can.
Oh, ooh, 1 success.
A success.
2.
Okay. I will actually say that. Were you listening to the tumblers?
Mhm.
Okay.
I had one when I first started.
I was listening.
So both of you can't shake that. That there was nothing. No, not even the smallest of clicks. This thing is not opened with the combination.
Maybe there's a secret panel or something, or like a key. Sab starts just like
Maybe you have
examining
to
it.
say magic words.
That's not a
Picks.
thing.
Picks.
That's not a thing.
It opens immediately. No.
Whoa!
It was the name of her lover.
Sab starts just looking at the safe to see if there's like some sort of like mechanism or like something that like.
Make a
click it
perception
in.
check.
All right.
She wasn't marked, was she?
Study carefully,
believe
I
so.
guess. No, she was not. There were no people
think
marked.
Reed's
Well,
gonna go
there was barely
downstairs.
any people marked back in those days.
All right.
Reed's gonna go downstairs and try to bring back upstairs a whale oil powered blowtorch.
Okay. You don't have one of those right now, but you could craft one in about an hour, probably.
Okay.
That might take longer.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll allow it.
does he already
It'll
have
take
stuff
about an hour.
in his forge that
Yeah, that's
he uses
right.
for
Yeah.
heating
Okay.
stuff up?
Yeah. So you could make it in an hour, definitely.
he's gonna go start working on that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a tinker check for that.
So
Yes.
that's to start
I've
with.
got one success.
It doesn't look like there's any secret panels or
Okay.
hidden levers on this thing.
Are there
Do I
any
need
sorts of like?
blueprints?
Oh, Wait, how close was the safe room to the radio room?
The safe was in her bedroom, which was directly across from the radio room.
Is there any sort of audio technology at all embedded in the lock or in anything else?
Make a perception check carefully.
It's one success.
Doesn't look like there's any sort of audio in it. There's no microphone or anything nearby. What'd you roll?
3 successes.
Yeah, you've got a blowtorch.
Sab just kind of starts pulling on the hinges to see if, I don't know, they're fake or something, or they come off.
The hinges.
Yeah.
You reach your hands towards the hinges where someone might put explosives if they wanted to blow this thing open. You can feel notches very, very close to them. 3 different notches, all along each of the hinges.
Oh, guys, got something.
Good what?
Sav kind of runs across. Is there like a number of like notches on each one?
It's just 1, 1, 1. So I'll just.
Notches, how so?
What's that? So they're having a hard time describing it because I want to make sure that they're hidden. But right
Like
by the
little
hinges,
divots, like handles?
if you were putting explosives in that area, your fingers can just kind of keep going just a little bit, and you would feel. Yeah, pins is probably the right word. Pins in those notches.
Oh. That pulls out like I guess a tinker tool, I guess a screwdriver or something.
Mhm.
And he just kind of pokes it in there, just seeing what's going on, see if there's something that like clicks or like if there's some sort of device that can activate it, basically.
Yep. So with just a screwdriver, you click it and you hear a, but it pops back.
Okay. Hazel, can you hold this right here? Just push
Sure.
it in. I'll take out this. I don't know, screwdriver. I don't know what else he has. Other equipment.
Multiple
got my
He
daggers.
just puts them in. Yeah,
You only have 2.
he takes out your dagger. Oh, this probably is yours. So you
We'll
hold
go
that
back
one
later?
there.
Sure.
and then pushes in the other ones. Just the other 2. I'm guessing the other 2 little notch places. So he pushes those in also.
All right. You push those and the save opens. Good job.
Yes, I am the smartest.
At this point.
Yes, you're probably coming up
It's actually pretty good.
with the blowtorch. And
Oh.
as you walk in, you see the safe open.
We did it! Yeah. Seb opens up the safe. He hands Heisel her knife.
I'm gonna erase the minus on my character sheet. I've
Yes,
got
and
that
I will
back,
erase
finally.
the Heisel knife boot on mine.
Inside the safe, you would find 3 gold bars. Just so that you guys don't have to pawn them. They're worth about 1,000 Morlean notes each.
That's 750 apiece.
And you would see a large chunk of this white object.
Seb just carefully kind of examines it. He's not touching it, but he's just kind of looking at it.
You would recognize it immediately. This is a rune. It would have been making noise. I apologize. I made it.
Soundproof.
Jacob do a check about it last time,
You
but I
know,
kind of forgot it this time.
Soundproof as all.
Yeah. Soundproof. Yep.
Sab picks it up. Hey guys, look. These are really good. These are runes.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
What does it do?
Is that thing?
It's the sort of thing that it enhances those who
Yeah,
have void
yeah.
abilities.
I used to be able to just kind of like.
Yes. In the
I-
term
Okay.
of
What's
metagaming,
Is
it has the outsider's mark on it.
Yeah.
The
Just
old outsiders.
Straight up?
Mhm. Ooh.
May I have that?
No, because I bet you got out of the house and it wasn't by yourself.
Can we talk about that?
Huh?
Actually, now's probably a really good time to talk about that.
Because I feel like there was some point in the story where you had jumped into a basement and you were hugging an explosive to someone else, and then the house exploded, but you weren't dead. And I'm not 100% sure how you get from point A to
See,
point
what
B.
happened was...
Well, I know how I would, but
See, what happened was... It wasn't working. So I decided I'd be heroic. And I did a jumpy, spinny flip thing, and I kicked him and jumped off of him back up onto the first floor and ran out the building.
That's not how physics work.
Have you ever done the flippy, spinny kick thing?
Hey,
don't
make a
need to.
deception check.
I'm wanting to figure out if this is a thing. So.
Insight.
Intuition.
And I will say that even
Critical success.
Just one success.
2 successes.
Talk cleverly.
No,
Oh,
you
one
did not.
success.
There wasn't enough time for you to run out of there anyway.
Anyone we know?
What?
Was it anyone we know?
Was who?
Which one?
What?
The outsider.
I don't know. It's just, I was there, I was hugging him, and then all of a sudden, things went... And then he froze, and then I was about to die, and then I was dead.
Yeah.
And then somebody came out wearing a purple dress and said I
No.
No
wasn't.
way.
And then this
Okay.
beautiful, gorgeous lady came and gave me
What?
a mark on my hand.
Sandra said it was a man, right?
Yes.
I think you might have been wrong.
The Dazzler is a man, and he wasn't wearing a dress.
I
Lady-
think it was a man.
Did she give you a name?
Yes, she said she was the Dazzler.
That's
Yeah,
I
not
was
even-
Dazzler.
That's a man.
Well, this is awkward.
You were dazzled by a man.
Anyway,
No,
what's
it
the mark
wasn't.
look like, by the way? I
What's
mean,
not?
that's
Show us.
always
At this
fun.
point, just show us.
Okay. Prepare to be... Which hand is it on?
Left.
Prepare to be amazed.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
Does an outsider
Now we
talk?
got 2 people marked.
Well, you have that. Well, you actually have the symbol that's on.
Yeah, I have the rune. I have the runes and stuff, but like that's just charms and things like that.
So,
So what can you do now?
anyway, what happened was they came... He came and said, "Wow, you're really impressive. You should do this more often," and gave me powers so I could do cool stuff that dazzled
Cool stuff
people.
like what?
Like,
Teleport.
I don't know. What I did was, like,
Blink?
I suddenly instinctively knew how to do this, but I, like, jumped out of the hole with, like, weird things, and then I, like,
Weird.
whooshed.
Explain the weird things.
Like, okay, I whooshed from the pile of explosives onto the next floor, and then I whooshed to the front door, and then
It's called Blink.
yes, I dazzled into. It
Oh,
leaves sparkles
check.
when I do it.
I have a void lore of 5, sir. I know what a blink is.
Difficulty of 3.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Not
I
that-
mean,
the marked
that's
ones didn't just
probably
go around
not-
talking about the names of their powers and stuff.
Oh, okay. You know what? Out of spite, I'm gonna use a void point on this and make that a critical success. 3.
Like,
Well, anyways, when I did it, it left sparkles.
Oh no! Oh gosh.
also, do
Wait.
recall that your mana is increased to its maximum every scene, so it's another scene. I
Like,
wanted to demonstrate.
I have 8.
like it wasn't like ash. It was like
Or-
literal
or-
sparkles.
Sure, your point
I'll show you. See that
Yeah.
spot in the room? I'm going right there.
Seb puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Go ahead."
All right, and so he does it.
Yep. 2 mana.
Does glitter get in my mouth?
What's
Does,
that?
Does
does
glitter get
Sab
in my
go
mouth?
along with him?
There is no physical glitter.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Well,
Manifestation of the void.
so
which
it
is
goes
not
away
Immaterial.
rather
Is
than
it-
sticking around.
Is
Yeah.
it like extra flashy or is it?
Oh,
just-
it's extra flash.
Oh yes.
Like, you're not gonna. It's literally like.
It's not a stealth move.
Well,
There probably is a bonus if you ever want to teleport and be a distraction with it. And it probably makes checks where you're trying to sneak around and use it much more difficult.
Hmm.
So,
Anyway, he goes to the other corner of the room, flourishes his cape around. So, what do you all think?
Quick question. So Sab put his hand on the guy's shoulder. Did he go along with him for the ride, or?
Oh boy. No.
Okay.
You have to be carried
Cool.
if you want to go with someone. I'm saying that only because you can blink with dead body or with corpses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like carried.
Yeah.
People can like if someone is in the middle of stabbing
Okay,
you.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
They can
don't
blink
teleport.
away.
Yeah.
That
right.
keeps it useful, but then
think
not like
it makes a
overpowered.
lot of sense that the Dazzler chose you, John or Jacob Reed.
Why? Because I'm such a dazzling person.
Well,
Something along those lines.
go with that.
Bit of horror.
What kind of bone is that?
That's like big whalebone deal.
Can we like share the bone?
No.
What?
That's not how it works.
We're not sharing any
One
bones.
person gets to absorb the powers of the void,
What?
and that's about it.
Jacob Reed,
Rock,
You eat
paper,
it?
scissors.
I'll offer you a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You get the next one. If you behave until we get it.
What do you think the chance of him doing that are?
Not high, but we gotta try.
I think you're setting him up for failure.
Well, then you get the next one too.
Are you doing that with the rune?
Savage, yeah, it's just like
No.
passing the rune around his
He
body.
gets this one, but I definitely get the next one.
If you behave and don't
Yeah.
alienate us.
Sad.
Who decides if I'm
Yeah.
behaving?
You
The
feel
collective of the rest of us.
flicker.
Hmm?
Extremely faint.
He just kind of stops and focuses on the rune.
It's not doing anything.
Sab
But
looks
the
over,
mark on your
and
left hand.
lifts it up. Like, not so that they can see he's careful. They're talking and being distracted. You just gotta lose them, just like,
who should get this one?
and
then
he
Sab's
looks
like,
at
"Whoops,
his
I
hand.
absorbed it.
What's going on?
Kind of like when you first got the mark and it burned into your hand. You can see just the faintest glow almost shimmer across the mark. It's been a while since you felt a rune.
Huh.
And you are immediately you can see a light. It's very bright, but still very small, like a star, behind the wall of the actual airship, and just tell it's miles and miles and miles away, probably. But there's something out there. Something southeast. If
And
you
he-
ever
he-
had void gaze, it's like that.
Yeah, he instantly takes off out of the room and does, Allison, quick! What's our location? Where are we right now?
Oh, well, right now we're in Triptych.
Audio peak.
Triptych. Okay.
Yeah.
South, and then east. So that's Seb goes to his map, which I don't know if I have it here on me real quick. But he basically is I'll just pull up them quick. This may take a little while. But anyway, you guys can
I will say that image does fade
okay.
after a little while.
Yeah, he just marks the location of where it was, basically. Like the direction. meaning.
Okay.
So-
Yes.
Getting the photo, so you guys can do whatever. Sav just ran upstairs.
Does anyone
basically.
know why he's doing that?
No.
He wants to
Well-
keep the bone charm for himself.
What's he got Well, I mean, if it reactivates his,
It
that'd
is
be
pretty
useful for
cool.
him.
I would want to keep it for myself, even if I didn't have void powers.
It couldn't possibly reactivate his if the outsiders.
I've never seen anyone who's marked who can't use their mark before. I don't really know.
Oh, I guess this is uncharted waters.
Wait,
I've
Wait,
never
he's
used
got a
one of
mark
those.
too?
He did.
The
Oh.
dead one. Kind of unfortunate, actually.
Were they close?
No.
For his friend.
Can you be close to an outside?
Different thing, different circumstance. I knew him before. It's a valid question.
Minor correction, Jacob. Due south.
Due south. Excellent. All right. Oh,
So it's in a particular location that you have predetermined.
Yeah.
Fun.
Maybe fun.
Maybe.
Well, fun and I'm not gonna die are two different.
Well, I said maybe. Let's at least go see what he wants then, and I'm gonna follow Sab up.
Seb just is like, but like, Allison, do you have like the specific location, like on your little pedometer thing or whatever? Like, do you know our latitude, longitude? Like, where are we
Yeah.
right now?
Well, give me a minute. I'm not the best navigator. We're near Triptych.
Well, I'll take that.
What are you looking for, Sab?
Just saw something out there. And
So what?
I think could have been the box. Anything else? I mean, my mark kind of glowed a little bit, and I mean, what else could it be? And also, it's like heckin' far away. Like, it couldn't just be a bone charm. It would have to be like
How far away and where? To the best
south,
of your knowledge.
south of here, very far away.
You don't know the distance.
But I don't know how far. But
Do you have the map up?
yes, I can. So there's several towns: Jessamine, Silbrook, Aliceville, Ma, some towns like that. So I mean, it might not be in a town, but like it's in Pandysia, and it's probably in Fairchance.
That's a better lead than you had before. I'll give you that.
I mean, I'm guessing it seemed kind of stable. I'm not. I mean, from a certain distance, stable moving.
Yeah, you
is
can't
not
tell whether
variable.
it was moving or not.
All right.
Sorry.
I wish
Don't worry
we'd
about
caught Sibel alive. I was interested in figuring out if she knew about him. I'm pretty sure she knew about where Arkin was.
Yeah.
And she would have been talkative.
If we made her be, maybe.
How well does that work for anyone?
Well, I tried it on my own. Not with you.
Has she been talkative ever?
No, but I mean, like being held over by the side of an airship makes people talk.
And Casey had the. Oh wait, no, I don't
Probably
remember
wouldn't
that, do
make
I?
me talk.
You do still
You don't have
remember
much to say.
her talking,
Fair
or
enough.
her statement to
Also,
Captain
like,
Vonahue.
Which was.
she probably likes living a lot, and doesn't
She asked
like
why he was here.
doesn't like people more
and
than she likes
He
living.
Oh, yeah.
immediately
So-
answered. You just don't remember what she did to you.
What if she thought the information
Well,
that we
Casey had a
wanted
bit of a
would
way of getting
lead to her dying
things out
anyway?
of people.
Well, I mean, it's die now, die later.
Look, I still want to talk about the bone charm, because you
Yes.
did give away my monocycle.
It's a rune and
It wasn't your monocycle.
It was. I had dibs on it, and he said okay.
You just forget
Aw.
the mark.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you can still
Yeah.
put it together, and something weird was going on.
Yeah, Seb probably would want to mention that at some point. I guess we'll say. Oh,
Literally just the image of the mark on the hand. So all.
Oh, so I
associated-
did see it.
Oh wait. Oh,
Just
I'm
look
sorry.
right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no image. Nix that. Sorry. Retcon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. What were you saying?
Sab probably would. Let me do this. Yeah, okay. Wow. You know what? There's a lot of void people. There's what's her name, Casey. There's you and you.
Hmm?
Casey. She did the whole like talk to the guy and he instantly spilled his guts.
Was that weird?
Did you ask her like
She
about a mark?
forced someone to give up information.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think
Maybe I should
Lysander
have
tried to do that. to
You
me.
did. She then just said, "What mark?" And then you were very confused.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
Where did that come from?
I think void mark, witch, charm.
What?
She dazzled you.
But like
No
okay,
one
it's a
dazzles
void mark.
me.
She's a witch, or it's a charm.
Well, she didn't have any mark on her hand.
Yeah. Well,
At the same time, that sounds a lot like what Lysander might have tried to do to me.
Entromancy.
what did he try and do to you?
What?
That's what he called it. Entromancy. The magic of people.
Oh. Didn't work. His didn't.
Good.
Not on me.
Hmm.
Well, I don't actually know what it would have done.
I wonder if it's.
I just think he was trying to get information, force it out. But if that's what it might have looked like when it was successful, maybe it's the same thing.
Yeah. So that's why
Well, she
I
could be a
was-
witch. She didn't have a mark.
Yeah, we're playing with different rules though. But I don't know.
Wait.
I guess there's not much we can do about it now, is there?
No.
Oh, that'd be two of Leo's we've run into.
Lysander did have a mark. Same place. Was it left hand specifically? Was it right hand?
It was left hand.
It was on his left.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Right hand's
favorite.
yours.
Oh. Okay. Left hand.
That's 4 for left.
Yeah,
Although I don't think I really had a choice.
I could see it just
Have I
being a
ever heard
thing.
about anybody not having a mark on their hand? On their left hand?
Void door check.
This also might be.
Sab also will.
This also might be a good time to say it because I am thinking because I haven't finished it yet, but Anton, like it was what he was doing during the hour. Was it an hour? Was it a full hour to get to the
Yeah.
place, or was there less time?
I think it-
To get down to Triptych, yeah, sure.
So we had an hour on the airship.
Yeah.
The hour when
he
you were
would've-
making the blowtorch.
He would have like been drawing Casey at the time.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's 2 successes.
And so he probably would have finished, but I haven't yet.
There is no one that you know of that would have outsider given powers without a mark. Sure, there are people with void powers without marks. Witches. I mean, that's actually a serious thing. There are tons of witches. Those people will use specific material concoctions to cast spells.
And is that always a visible thing?
No. Sometimes that's how you do the most powerful stuff, but there are some kind of probably passive things, like witches can attack with like briars, and that's not due to some. I'm sorry, it's just not really defined in the lore,
Mhm.
but
Mm.
not always visible. No.
Really, if she was marked by an outsider, I wouldn't think the hand would be blank.
Yeah. But anyway, that was what I was implying, but everyone was very confused about what I was trying to say. Was don't
When?
do that.
When did she do what?
Well, you know,
Like
you can be a
she-
little more direct sometimes.
Yeah, I got there.
Especially with someone like Casey, who's very blunt. Sometimes
When-
just don't do it is enough of a...
She shouldn't have asked the guy and forced him to respond while he was on the airship.
No, I don't like that she erased something in Heisel's memory. I don't like that.
Well, that's
Are you sure
upsetting.
you didn't just mishear?
When was that?
I didn't miss here. You asked a question. She then repeated the question, And then you, just like that one man, instantly made a different reaction, just completely like you did not ask the question at all.
When you asked about Mark, she never did answer.
I didn't ask about the mark.
Exactly. You did,
You
though.
did ask about a Mark.
That's the thing.
That's why I pulled the gloves off.
Just sort of ended,
That was weird. Is that
but she told you about them. Well, she never told you about the Mark, but you asked her.
Heisel, I know it's a little hard to believe. But
No, I believe you if all three of you saw it.
That'd be a really annoying thing to have happen to you.
that's the thing. There was someone else who saw it. Dad pulls out Hootie and hands it to Heisel.
What is the deal with this thing?
You just focus on it, and it reveals everything.
Is that actually how that
Hootie,
works?
tell her about the whole the thing.
I'm gonna what have I got to lose? Have a little dignity. And I'm gonna hold it up and I'm gonna stare at the owl and I'm gonna focus and I'm going to ask, what are you anyway?
You see a knife whittling away at wood. And eventually, as time progresses, the visage of an owl forms in the wood.
Well, yeah, thanks.
Did it just respond to you?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Neat little
Like
thing though.
how?
I just saw
talk
something
to the
in
owl,
my head.
please.
Well,
No.
just give me a minute first. Who made you or what?
Can I make a check to try to figure out if this is a void thing or if it's just like
Yeah, make a void lore check.
Is there a ton of
I'm
drugs on this
confused about
owl?
it, but like, or is Heisel high? I don't know. Is her mind messed up? Is she humoring Sap? What sort of check would this be?
Void lore study.
There's no complications that happen on study checks. Okay, I got one success.
Okay. Could be void related. Doing weird stuff, probably.
Fair enough.
Heisel, you see a man. Tossing away a red coat to a chest. He's wounded, bleeding. And he leaves.
I'm assuming I wouldn't know him.
Face is obscured in the vision that you receive. Not enough details. Well, you do see one of the things that he does carry with him is a knife. Looks to be in the same pattern that Ab's knife that he got from Ibram was.
Oh, I see why he goes with the knife now. You know everything.
Study check. The difficulty of like 4. No one can assist.
Study cleverly. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that would help with that. Yeah, no, that's only. Oh wait, no, cleverly. Yeah, only one success.
Okay. Nothing.
That is.
Do you know everything or just some things?
No response to that.
Oh, let me try something. What do you know about the Ebony Pervasion?
You see the same figure that you just saw. Bit older. Hair white. Running down a castle hallway. He bursts into gallery, a room filled with glass cases. They're all empty. He continues the pursuit. ring a door, waiting.
Something was stolen.
What's going on? Like, we don't see this. That's why you all think I'm crazy, which I'm not.
No,
No,
you're not.
you still
I
can't.
want to talk to it. I believe you.
Yeah.
Do you know who owns
I
who
don't.
made this thing?
I don't know who made it.
There was a man in a red coat.
Man in a red coat.
He was running down a hallway, saw an empty
A British person.
gallery full of glass jars.
And you asked about
Yeah, being provision.
How many glass jars?
Couple dozen?
There were no jars.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
glass
cases.
cases.
Display cases, almost very fancy. Probably reminded you a little bit of Matthias Tebben's collection. Yeah. It's a circular room, probably like at least 14.
Maybe a little more than a dozen.
You see the guy's face?
No, it was unclear.
I've been before.
Do you know anything about Anton?
I think he. Well, I don't know how Rudy works, but he did mention.
That's what I'm trying to figure out if he knows everything about.
How's wisdom? If someone carved it for a purpose, the
You see a
thematic
child.
purpose of it is they know.
Walk up to a shack in the snow. Knock on the door. And smile as the man that you've been seeing in these visions greets him at the door and pats him on the head. Hands him a small carving of. Sorry, dishonored animals are different.
Mhm.
It looks like a rabbit.
But it
Okay.
doesn't look. The child doesn't look like Anton, does it?
No.
Know anything about Leo?
Nothing.
Okay, so you're willing to admit when you don't. And I'm not sure
course
if
he
this is
can admit when he
relevant
doesn't.
to it all. There's something about a child turning up to a door in the snow, and someone opened it. A man that I've been seeing in the other visions with a red coat. And there's a carving of a rabbit or something.
What the child look like?
I'll describe as best I can.
Kid was wearing a big, like a parka. It's cold. It's literally in the snow. But very, very pale skin. Brown eyes. And just a little bit of hair. Cut very, very short.
I don't suppose that triggers any memories.
I feel like you knew someone that was like that. That looked like that. But you just can't put a finger on name, where that person was, what they were like.
Last one, I promise.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know anything about Ergen Machenko?
There's nothing for that.
Nah. Oh well. Get you on back.
Oh yeah. So good and so nice. And you didn't even invite her. Good job.
Wait, what was that?
You were so good and so nice, and you didn't even bite her. He puts it back into his coat. Just pats it. Yep.
I'm not sure how much to believe.
I know.
Oh.
Worth noting.
I got him at
I think-
Duxton's, so we could even stop by there. Oh, yeah, I need to do that.
You think?
I
he'd
think
have
I
any
killed his best
ravens?
friend, so I may need to go and get.
Well, a raven
Another
wouldn't do
one.
the same thing.
Oh, you mean
Why
this
not
herd?
Do something. Cool.
Yeah.
Can I talk to it?
I doubt it.
Well, the sword was the other thing that the man that made Hootie had.
From what it sounds
not
like, it doesn't
replaceable.
sound like he's
What
going
was
to
it?
talk so much as reveal
Was
information.
it a sword, or was it just a knife?
Sword. Well, halfway in between a knife and a sword.
Kind of halfway. I don't really know.
Like a short sword or a dagger?
The whaler
Long
blade.
dagger.
The whaler blade.
Okay.
And
Wait.
Tim, what were you saying?
It's just worth noting. I mentioned something about that. Enter. Kid might be the same way.
Someone you're not quite sure about?
I feel like I'm supposed to remember, but it's not quite there.
Other thing to ask Utley about. We need to get back to Sunline.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep asking around about Argan.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
see if you can find him. I was hoping Sibel would be a good lead, but
Yeah.
that's probably the one part of this
Yeah.
that we didn't.
It's okay. Still got a bunch of other people.
Who have you got left to visit?
Oh. Let's see. Fire's gone. We know where Rose is. Flintlock. Knight. Iron. Oh yeah. Argon. All of them.
I think there
Yeah.
were only 5
Okay.
people that they gave me.
Yeah. He would probably know it better than me.
I'll see what they can do about that. But for now, getting your liver fixed is probably the best thing to focus on.
Might be useful.
That way you can drink more.
Drink it all. Last time didn't work very well.
Can someone tell Alison to get headed back towards Sunline then? I'm probably going to rest for a while.
I'll do it.
Don't mind going with him.
What?
I'm going with him.
What am I doing? I
Just
blanked out.
telling Ellison to
Cool.
go
Yeah.
back to Sunline.
We can do that.
Right, I'll see you all in a bit.
So I guess we go to Ellison.
Yep, she's in the pilot house.
Hey, how's it going?
Ooh. Fine. We're heading.
Heisel told me to tell you that we're going to Sunline.
Oh, good. Finally going back.
Yep.
Good to see my family again.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from
can...
Sunline?
No, I'm from Dunwall. But my family's. I'm
Oh,
effectively.
really?
I got a new home, so.
You can like probably. Well, I'm talking with everyone else, but you can like take the day off or whatever when we get there, and you can just.
Whew. I appreciate that. I haven't slept for 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. I got. I can understand that. Probably with that remembers how tired he is and goes down to his room.
All right. Do you guys have anything you want to do on the ride over to Sunlight?
Right, so
Other
Reed-
than pose ominously.
Oh, how long is it going to take, by the way?
Back to Sunlight, probably about. Sorry, I just had this open. Trip to Sunlight. Oh, that's actually closer. Yeah, about 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. I'm going to start on the painting.
Reed is going to actually go get his little desk thing with all the paper, and he's going to start working on blueprints for a new suit of armor. After he fought Pix, he took down some. He took down some mental notes about some new ideas for a better, improved suit of armor.
Yeah.
It's more bullet resistant and
Okay. You may have taken notes down, but you still don't know what the material was made out of, given that you didn't actually. I didn't mean to exclude. Were any of you? You were looking for Pix's remains, weren't you?
We were, yeah.
You probably found a single helmet, and that was about it.
I guess I would have grabbed it.
All right. There you go.
Might as well. Wells is gonna use it,
So
not Pix.
that's the only thing that made it out. from his armor.
He's more thinking about design and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to copy
Right.
his aesthetic.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, except
Can I make my
make
blood
it
glow?
except make it black.
While
and
they're going over
dark.
there,
Blood glow black.
I think Sab's kind of resting, but
Well,
he's
purple
writing,
sparkles.
working on those
Blood
blueprints.
glow purple
I'm
sparkles is
not sure how
interesting.
many more he needs.
Say that again.
He's working on the blueprints he was working on. For the one
Yes,
thing.
gotcha.
Yes. I don't remember how many more he needs, but I will roll for it.
Oh yeah. You recall what phase you were in? There's different phases of engineering. I think you have the
'cause I think
materials,
he
right?
was- yes, because he got that from another project actually. He was doing. I think he's
All right.
Is
Well,
he-
then go ahead and roll an assembly check. This is kind of complicated. I'll
Alright.
say a difficulty of 3, but if you
so he's well first he's making the blueprints so then he can do personal notes and
You're-
lower difficulty.
didn't you already make them?
Okay, then I'm gonna say that he made them. Okay, cool. All right, then yes.
right.
Let's try and assemble this. So Tinker and Cleverly?
Mhm.
Yeah. I got nothing else helping me with this, so here we go. Do I have a difficulty of what it is? I probably passed that.
3.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I did not get 1 success.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for future checks that you do to do this.
Can Reed work on like how long would it take him to like make blueprints for a new suit of armor?
So the success of blueprints is based off of a check. So to make proper blueprints, probably be an hour, 2 hours.
Okay. So for the first 2 hours, can he make blueprints for a suit of armor? And for the rest of the time, can he start working? He has this idea for like a monocycle. It's got 3 wheels instead of 1.
Yeah, sure. You can.
He calls it the
Utilize
tricycle.
Yes, you can do
You just
that.
go
Go
for it.
ahead and roll a tinker check.
Motorized trike.
Cleverly, carefully.
All right. This is for the armor. He's doing cleverly. That's 2 successes.
Okay.
The Dazzler swoops in and gives you all the successes because this is awful and he
Yeah,
loves it.
you've got blueprints down.
All right, and then he wants to start working on his tricycle.
Okay. All right. Yeah, do the same thing. Tinker check carefully.
2 more successes.
All right.
Wait, quick question.
Yeah. That one's going to be a bit more difficult. So that's
yeah.
probably going to be a cumulative 5.
Okay.
So you're going to need to blueprint that a little bit more to develop it.
Okay, so to make the thing, you would need to make for Sab to make his thing without using his talent of personal notes. That would be 4. And so then personal notes remove 1 difficulty when working, trying to make that thing or something like that.
Yeah, I guess it'd be 2 then.
Okay. Could I use a void point and just like?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Cool. All right. He does the thing that would then allow him to use this thing. And
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Any other plans for the ride over to Sunlight?
He maybe calls. Sab goes and does. Do we have a radio that's not Heisel's, or do we just use Heisel's? I don't know what.
Who are you talking
There's
protocol.
one on the ship.
Okay, then he goes over to the ship one.
Yep.
And he just
right next
tunes.
to Ellison.
Okay. Well, if she's here, then I'll maybe wait. Yeah.
Gonna be flying this ship until it's landed.
Yeah. So yeah, probably when we land or something like that later.
I'd like to ask a couple. First of all, I want to call Ren.
Okay. You call the line and there's no immediate response.
Fair enough. I'll try again later, I suppose. I have a couple of other messages I want to send when I'm in town.
Okay, sounds good.
I just wanted to start on the painting. And the way
When you're saying the painting, you mean
the painting.
the painting. All right.
And to be clear, I'm trying to do it.
Also, I love how you recruited Merrick and then just left him in triptych.
I know
Whoops.
that was an oversight. Things happened. There was an explosion.
Explosion exploded.
Well, we
So-
have
but I did have the silver graph.
we have Tobly Mobley and him there, so we have reason to come back.
Yeah. So the first thing that he's gonna do is he's gonna try to do this smart so that it's like very accurate.
Mhm.
And he's gonna like draw like very lightly a graph. Yeah, a grid is the right word. On the silver graph.
Yeah.
Note the positions of everything based on the graph. Based on the grid. Draw the same grid on the canvases.
Mhm.
And like try to position everything so that it's exactly in the same place like that. So that's the first thing that he's gonna do.
Mhm.
And like if one of the pictures is like, or like one of the paintings is like off, then the
Mhm.
perspective of the grid will be like counting for that. So the grid will be like, you know, following the painting, and it'll correct for perspective.
Sounds good. Make a tinker check. You're gonna hate this, but carefully.
I know.
You could paint your own thing swiftly, but when you're making a direct forgery, its details are
Yeah.
absolutely important.
And yeah, part of the reason for this is like I could just go straight in, but like this is not the sort of thing that he'd necessarily be the best at.
Also, not forgery, restoration.
So it's 2 successes.
It's a forgery. You
It's
can't
a forgery.
restore something from.
But if we give it
If it was
back, in some languages, that would be called restoring.
I don't know.
What languages would that be?
Like probably English.
I mean, that's
Well,
another
English or
definition of
out
the
of
word
English.
restore something to someone. So you're restoring a symbol to them, even if it's a forgery.
of
You're
the
still restoring
restoring
that symbol
that
of their town.
If
to
they
them.
know it's a forgery, then you're not restoring it.
But if they don't, which is the
which is the intention.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
okay, I did roll 2 successes.
Okay.
Yes.
Man, I hate checks for like continued activities because it's gonna take forever. Maybe okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's gonna take a lot of time, man.
The
This is like-
total thing is it's going to take a long time.
Okay, so
Grid's probably not going to take as long as the painting though, so that's
What's
yeah, I'll say the grid's done.
okay.
Good job.
And does it look good?
As far as you can tell, yes.
Oh,
Okay,
fair enough.
we got some people on that.
Anything else? All right.
Reed's gonna be doing this up in the bridge where Ellison is driving.
Okay, there's a map room right next to the pilot house, which is probably actually a great place to draft blueprints.
Okay.
Yeah, big tables with a bunch of weights that you can put on the blueprints. So
I think he's gonna go in and like talk to Ellison while he's doing this.
Sure, the pilot house is kind of cramped with equipment. If you're using actually big blueprints, there's probably not going to be
It's
space.
just small like paper.
Okay, all right. All right, what would you like to say? Or is this just generic conversation?
This is just generic chit chat, helping keep her awake.
Okay, fair enough.
Roll for generic chit chat.
Yeah, no.
Roll for dazzling.
Dazzling generic.
Okay.
Generically?
So, after a while, you do all land in the familiar city of Sunline, which is good to see because last time you were leaving because you literally thought that there was, a threat to your all's life being in the city. So, on walking out, Michaela says, really, as soon as I join your group, you all say, oh, let's go back to Sunline. You're going to like put me in my house and leave me here, aren't you? Because that's not going to work.
Oh, I mean, maybe you need to pick up stuff. I don't know.
We're here for Anton.
I'm
I told you to come
experiencing
with us, so long as you don't get in trouble.
I'm experiencing liver failure.
Liver failure.
Yeah. I can't drink. Very upsetting.
It's a tragedy.
We, on the other hand, should. If you got time.
Can I come
I think
too?
that sounds like a good idea.
Could you wait until my liver's fixed at least?
I
Well, I
think
figure
That
it's
way,
like
even
maybe
if
a
you
little
don't
bit of
invite
time
me,
to-
I can go
think
off
it-
on my own.
right. It'd be good to have just some time with the Lady Ogre, if you don't mind.
No, I meant so I can, drink on my own.
I'll drink with
This
you.
feels rude.
You won't drink with us, though. It's just us.
Yeah, but I meant I could drink on my own.
Right? Yeah. When you get the surgery done.
So,
Yeah.
is what you're saying? You don't want us to drink until you can drink again, too?
Yeah, I'm just saying, show solidarity might be nice.
I won't drink anymore
I'll keep it
until.
non-alcoholic.
You don't drink.
Well, yes, but
I don't drink what you drink either.
I won't drink orange juice until you're better.
How noble.
Fair enough. I'll take that. Go off and drink. I want to see this.
Or worse, I'll drink my orange juice with pulp.
Whatever.
He does.
Wait, why
is
do you like
worse
the
for you.
pulp?
It is the worst part.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No. I'm interested. Why do you like pulp?
'Cause I just like, it just feels bumpy going down.
Have you heard of food?
Yes, but have you
Why
heard
don't
of
you
orange
just
juice
eat
with
an
pulp?
orange?
Well, can you drink an orange?
You can if you eat it right.
All right, drink an orange. Look, you can drink and eat at the same time.
I like to keep those there.
It's like oatmeal, but it's actually good.
Man, I swear, Jacob Reed's retirement arc is gonna be he's gonna be the inventor of smoothies or something.
That'd be
Ooh.
cool. Those are my next blueprints.
Blueprint
A
for
whole
smoothie.
beverage.
It just looks like meth.
No, a smoothie machine.
Ooh.
The idea is that you just make a extremely pulpy beverage, but it's actually a smoothie. I mean, there's so many inventions that were accidents.
It ends up smooth, and he's like, "It's not pulpy," and everyone else is like, "This is actually
This
good."
is great. You should like chill it and stuff.
If this was cold.
Oh man. But that sounds like a lovely day idea.
We can head back to your place first and see if there's any stuff you need to pick up for the airship. If
Oh yes.
You too.
You sure we shouldn't do that on our way out?
and to whatever you prefer.
Oh. Oh, also, where are you going for the surgery? Curious.
Do you have a recommendation?
Absolutely.
I have an idea.
My neighbor is an
Place-
excellent surgeon.
Is
I'm
that
gonna go talk to Anton. Come on over here, Anton. We're gonna go talk and have a lovely conversation that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Sebastian,
Yeah,
remember what I said to you earlier?
yeah, I know.
That's happening one way or the other. Might as well make it this way.
No. Well, I'm gonna talk to Anton first.
Is he getting a surgery too, or is he getting an intervention?
Intervention. Oh. I'm so sorry.
The ogre!
That is my slip of the tongue. I have a hard time
Okay.
running off?
Sab.
Your accent is getting an intervention. I'm so sorry. This is an out of game foible.
I meant to make
Which a
Jennifer
character that has
Casey
had
look
this accent
not
for her
nice,
entire life
but
would
now
not
she
use.
just looks like a
That does.
1980s film
Intervention.
like star.
That's what I was going for.
Oh,
There you
I drew
go.
her in her true form.
She
She looks so
More of an
nice
intervention
though.
sort of
She's
thing.
not nice in real life.
Fair enough. Is it because he tried to kill you?
No. He told you about that.
Yep, he did.
Sab
That's
is
what
Sab
he
is
It's all
gone
cleared
at
up.
this
I'll-
point.
I'll-
At this point, Sab is already dragged.
Oh, don't worry. He's all cleared up.
Sab has dragged Anton out of the room, so you guys are just by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to do the? What do you want to do first with Mikhail?
He was suggesting go to get drinks first and
Yeah,
then
yep.
load his stuff up.
Okay.
But
yeah.
they're having a conversation probably before that happens, right?
Yes.
So Anton,
Yeah.
so we need to find the people that I know.
Sure.
Yeah. You're gonna go to Bell's. No, wait, it's
I think you blew up Seville's.
yeah. Anyway, Two's house. You're gonna go to Sherry Two's house. Her house.
That one.
Yes. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get in there. What we need to happen, you need to get to. So there's the main room.
Are you gonna have me try to steal something?
No, just listen. Okay, so there's the main room, and then there's the bedroom, and then there's the kitchen. So in the bedroom, there's a picture. It's a silvergraph. It's of all of us. You can get a good look at. She'd probably be suspicious if you start drawing it, but you should be able to get a picture of all of us, no masks, and that should
None
be.
of you were wearing
helpful.
masks in
It's what's done, you know.
you clearly didn't know.
Okay, listen. Was okay. Listen. Well, yeah. Well, we took a silvergraph picture. People do that. Okay, people do that now.
I know, it's just rare that I find a silvergraph picture of someone I actually care to find.
Yes, I know. Now, okay, that's the plan basically. So I'll leave that up to you. Also, I've been meaning to get tea. I know this is unrelated to anything really important, but I've been meaning to get some green tea for you.
Yeah.
And I think you wanted paint too. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and find the paint for paintings, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna yeah.
Yeah, so I'll try and figure that out. Yeah, I might need some other money from other people, so I might talk to them. Do you think Hazel will have enough, or do you think I should talk to Raven Boy?
I don't know who has money.
Oh, well, I'm just saying. Should I? I mean, they might be able to help out with the bartering.
Helping out with the money situation.
Yeah.
Well, if you went to both of them, then you'd have a better chance.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and also like, all that. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, I just want to, see, not maybe the best at buying paints and stuff, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway.
I mean, if you need anyone to help you buying tea or buying paint, feel free.
Cool. Will do.
I know Mikhail likes tea. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he would be any help.
All right. Yeah. Well,
Or
I'll
if he's
ask
too
him.
tied up with Hazel,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he might know something about tea. Anyway. That leaves. End of conversation.
Okay, so now you're seen with Mikhail, right?
Sure.
Okay, so he'd take you to. I have the. He'd probably take you to the Sunlighters Tap. Not the best. Not the worst. Middle of the road. Maybe I should get orange juice with plenty of pulp. For the Raven's recommendation.
I don't think he's going to be much of a role model to follow.
I don't know what kind of model he's trying to be.
I don't think he's trying to be a model at all. Not really sure exactly why we've kept him around, but he'd fight pretty well back there. Or you can say that for most of us. What are you doing?
Exhausted. But I'm glad you're okay.
Glad you're okay too. Wouldn't have brought you along to the mansion, but I suppose they didn't think about that.
Fine. I gave you a gun that you used to save someone's life. I'm glad I was there. Should probably learn to point it myself, but
I don't know much, but I could teach you what I do.
really there's someone in your group that knows how to handle firearms.
Well, the best one that is probably. Actually, wait, the Raven doesn't use firearms either, does he?
No, there's no one in your group that uses guns.
Ray might be able to teach us a thing or two. I actually want to ask him anyway, and probably get some help from Sebastian. Learning how to fight a bit more hand to hand.
Probably a good idea.
No regrets about leaving Sunline. More permanently.
Oh, think of it like a not a vacation, but I think it'll help my ideas a little bit more. I've been stuck in stuffy old Sunland for a long time. Now I get to see new places, new peoples, and new stories. And
We didn't ruin your opportunity for the rights negotiations, did we?
oh no. Morgan can handle those. She's very capable. I was just kind of there for symbolic support. I'm sure it will be fine. So, all good.
I took your advice and told Brigham, by the way, he's on our side though from, across the sea.
That's good to hear. It'd be nice to have him here. He'd probably be much better at what I want to do for you than I am.
He's got too much to leave behind. I wouldn't ask him to for anything. And it's good just to have you around. I know I wasn't exactly very clear about that yesterday, but as long as you stay safe, I'm really glad you'll be around.
Good to hear.
Anyway, you look like you needed something really strong.
I don't know. I don't want to have a headache and it. An excuse to get away is good. I wonder how stuffy that airship will get, but hope we dock it from patients.
Hasn't been a problem in the past. Been more, here and there, place to place. You probably would have liked Jasmine.
I'll have to see it sometime.
Lots of interesting characters at the party there before everything went down.
Been too long since I've been to a good party. Most of the parties around here that I've attended are just business meetings, but with drinks, and that's it.
You get invited to those.
That?
You get invited to those.
Of course I do. Frequency 70 is growing very much, and part of that is the Tears of the Constancy.
Keep underestimating what that cereal does.
It makes money, that's what the people at the parties care about, but
Oh, that means something about how people see it.
or about the nature of the people that do see it.
What do you mean?
It could just be the wealthy people. I don't know. I want a bit more broad-based appeal. Although it has been nice running into the friends that you make that are familiar with it.
Yeah. Say whatever you want about Jacob Reed. He's got good taste in radio cereals.
Well, thank you. Hope he doesn't write those dreaded fiction pieces about it.
If he does, I'll threaten him again.
Okay, but I can threaten him myself. Choose you.
Oh, let me look after you too.
Well, yes, but it's reciprocal.
I heard something from Leo the other day. Not much, not anything worth noting, but
What?
I said I said some things to whatever it was that took him over, and I heard No words, just a laugh in response, but it's more than I've got.
What'd you say?
Oh, I just kind of told him that if I was. Lysander had
Idle.
said a thing about me being more interesting without the mark and all that, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't marked me, so I said something about the fact that I wouldn't be interesting dead. And that he'd better watch himself. If
You
he's interested in
threatened
keeping me.
him? Well, whatever he is. Oh, but that sounds more like an ask for help, though.
Sort of, but just asking for help isn't very interesting.
Well, it's good to see confirmation from you of that fact. I mean, I've heard that the people marked are either Lysander, and then there's uh,
You should probably know Anton and Jacob Reed are as well.
oh, I picked up on that.
Okay. And Seb used to be.
Right, the old outside.
So, you know, a fourth one to round up the mark wouldn't, or round up the party wouldn't be a bad thing.
Oh, definitely not. If I get marked, oh, honestly, it sounds like I might be the Dazzler's type, but I don't know if he's mine.
Oh, we always liked you. I'm not sure that means anything now, but maybe he'd pick you instead. You're good with people.
That's not a yawn. That's a. I don't know. There's a reason why there was a negotiator with me for the deal.
You're good with people in a different sort of way. That's all.
Don't know what way I am, but that's good to hear. Thank you.
You put people at ease, Mika. They've all accepted you as part of the group.
Good. Good to hear. Whew.
Anyways, I think I'm gonna get something strong if Anton gave me permission to, so give me just a minute.
Oh, please do. Go ahead.
So I'd probably order something heavy.
Yeah, probably.
Whiskey of some kind.
Probably like 10 notes.
Yeah. And just probably continue conversation with Mika, unless he has anything specific to say.
He probably doesn't. I'm sorry. I am
No, you're good.
really tired tonight.
You're totally fine.
No, I can't really think of anything that he would have to say, but it would probably be a good conversation nonetheless.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Just wanted to spend some time out of game with Mikhail.
Okay.
And then I had a telegram to send to Brigham at one point, and then other than that, going back and hanging out with the rest of the group.
Awesome. Yeah, you could just let me know about the telegram in
Just
Discord.
asking about Argon.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Reed is going to head down. Is there a place where you'd go to find bounties?
Yes, there would be. The Sunline Patrol has a headquarters and would have a bounties list ready and available.
Right. Are there any that look interesting or like a gang or something in town, like a gang member or something that's wanted?
Yeah, you would see a wanted poster that says 150 notes per member of the Greencastle gang.
Ooh.
Alive. There are probably more that I do not have prepared. I apologize.
Okay.
More bounties that'll be a good project around a little bit.
Right.
But yes. Is that good?
Would he? Are there any clues, or would he know anything about the Greencastle gang? Enough
Yeah,
to know where to hunt members down.
Roll a study check carefully, and do you have a focus related to the criminal underworld?
No, I don't.
Okay, I believe there is one. So
Okay,
I think I've seen that somewhere.
one success.
okay, they must not be very big. You haven't heard of them before.
Okay. I guess he's gonna head to the nearest bar, tavern.
All right. I might recommend technically Heisel and Mikhail are going to the Sunliners tap, which is a bit nicer. But if you're looking for a real like dive bar, there's
Looking for a shadier place.
yeah, okay, yeah. There's the Purloined Pillory, a deep watering hole in Sevian's watch that you make your way into, and it's got saloon doors. It's probably about noon by this time. Rays of sunshine just pouring through the windows into this shady area.
He doesn't have his mask on
Okay.
while he's doing any of this, but he's got his like cloak on
Mhm.
with his hood up. He just enters the room.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Is it that
dramatically.
dramatically?
Yeah, kind of theatrically.
You see the conversation in the bar quiet down as a bunch of people turn over at you.
He's going to walk kind of menacingly towards the bar and go up to the bartender.
Okay.
I'll have a tall glass of whatever juice you got. Plenty of pulp if you got it. Just not orange juice.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I was just filtering this location's notes.
Could I have a tall glass of juice, please? Any kind but orange juice with plenty of pulp.
You're looking for juice?
Yes.
Afraid you're at the wrong place for that, kiddo.
You have fermented juice.
Fermented juice. I mean, like tequila? Oh, shoot, it's probably not tequila.
Cider. Yes.
Oh, yeah, hard cider. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Give me
Yeah.
some hard cider. Extra pulpy if you got it.
Now, we don't really sell cider here.
What do you sell?
Whiskey, get ale.
I'll have some ale, please.
Fair enough. Not very hard. It's pretty early in the day. He's gonna slide pint towards you.
How much will that be?
2 notes.
You'll give him 2 notes. And he'll just start looking around and seeing if he can see anybody that looks like kind of like a good person to start. I guess he'll go up to the nearest person he sees that looks like they'd be open for a conversation. Start.
Yeah, sure. You can see some people gambling. You can see a couple people drinking alone, probably on, say, like a lunch break.
He's gonna go to someone who's alone already.
Okay. So you go up to this kind of stubby-looking man with a peg leg, who is drinking alone.
Nice leg. Mind if I join you?
I don't see why not. A weird way to start a conversation, though.
What can I say? I'm a unique person.
Fine.
All right. What's your name?
Silver.
I'm Jacob. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, what do you do around here?
Sorry, he's a factory worker, but I'm just trying to remember what factories are in the area. This. Bottler.
Nice. I've always wanted to be.
You tell me, you even know what a bottler is?
A person who makes bottles.
Name.
Exactly. So self-explanatory that I didn't have to explain it to people.
That makes so much sense. Like somebody be like, "What's a vigilante? It's not in the name."
No, but like, what is the definition of a vigilante?
Fair enough.
Baller.
So I'm new around here, as you can probably
Obviously.
guess. And someone was warning me to watch out for the Green Castle Gang or something.
Oh man, bunch of pansies.
They sound like pansies.
Had a much more formidable presence here until some shootout happened on a cable car a while back. Their leaders died. They're still around, low-time bandits. That kind
See, I'm kind of a thrill seeker. I like finding a little action here and there. I was wondering where I could go to find some of these people.
Looking to join?
No, looking to rough them up.
You're literally tracking down bandits just to beat them up. Might not recommend it. The thing about gangs is they have more than one person in it. Might not be a good idea to pick a fight with an entire gang.
I've done this before.
Fair enough. Come hang out near here.
If I wanted to place them to try to mug me, what would I do?
I mean, you already look like a dandy right now, so probably just walk near him and probably be good.
Thanks a lot. Much obliged.
You want to know where they are?
That'd be helpful.
Saw a couple of them 5 blocks down that way.
Thank you. What do they look like?
They got like these green neckerchiefs. That's it.
Okay. Thanks. And Jacob Reed's gonna. Is there like a trash can or like a barrel of some kind near the exit?
There is, and a spittoon.
All right. So as he's walking out, he's gonna take his entire drink and just pour it out.
Okay.
Walk out.
All right. Yeah.
What did you get?
Ale.
Ale.
There's no juice here.
There's no juice. So he's gonna
drink any.
he's going to walk into the nearest alley, or place that's kind of secluded. He's gonna put on his mask and then he's gonna climb up onto the rooftops
Okay.
and start sneaking over to where he mentioned.
All right.
The
Make a move stealth quietly check. Stealth focus.
all right. 2 successes.
Okay. It's the middle of the day. But yes, they forget to look up.
People do that.
So you go to the exact location, and you can see a couple people in like green handkerchiefs or almost bandanas around their neck, just gathered by kind of the alleyway edge.
Right. Does he see
Trying to hide in
anybody?
the shadows.
Does he see anybody else?
Make a perception check.
Right, he's gonna scan carefully. No successes.
None. Okay.
Oh.
Seems to be it.
All right. How far up am I?
Right now, you're probably about 15 feet in the air.
15?
Mhm.
All right. He's going to jump on the guy, whoever's like behind the other, if they're like, unless they're facing each other. But he's going to jump on one of them and try to land on his head.
Yeah, so one of them is watching at the corner just to see if there's anybody legitimate to rob, and then one is leaning up against a wall next to that one.
He's
So
going
you,
to jump on the guy leaning.
yeah,
against the wall.
okay. Make an acrobatics check first
Right.
to stick the landing.
All right, so would that be a move then?
Yes.
All right. He's trying to do it stealthily, so can he use a move quietly check?
Yes.
All right. Acrobatics. Complication.
And a success or just a complication?
Just a complication.
Okay. You're assessing the situation, applying the whole physics of all. Okay, how hard do I need to jump? And then when you're finally ready, you take the jump and realize that your heel was caught on your cape. And so you go to jump and immediately your body just straightens out because of the cape. And you fall up 15 feet into the alleyway. So you are going to take probably 2 stress points from that.
Okay.
You fall on your face. And you just see these bandits just turn around. What the?
Oh. There was no bridge between the 2 buildings. He's gonna start getting up as he's starting to get up as he says that.
Yeah. They start walking towards you. Both of them have these kind of cudgels, just improvised batons, that sort of thing. What are you doing going across roofed bridge? What?
See, someone told me if I crossed the bridge, then I would get to where I wanted to go in life.
Oh, you got where you need to be.
And he's gonna take a swing a punch.
All right.
At the first guy.
I was literally just going to say that they were going to attack as well. So let's roll a quickly roll first to see who goes first.
Move swiftly.
1, 1.
Okay, they're going first.
Yeah. That was only one of them. The other rolled 1 success.
I rolled 1 success.
What's the number?
4.
Okay, so you're going in between them.
Okay.
But that guy who was just talking to you is going to attack. So this is melee contested.
All right. So he's gonna just boldly just step forward and try to block his attack.
Okay, that works.
All right. That is 3 successes.
Okay, that's enough. This guy tries to wail down on you, and you immediately raise your forearm and block it. That's his attack. What are you doing?
All right. He's going. I guess his arm's like right there. Cause
Yeah, that's right.
So he's gonna like grab his arm, just throw him over his shoulder if he can on the
Okay.
ground.
Yeah. Melee fight check.
2 successes.
You just got 1.
All right.
And a complication, so he drops his baton. You flip him over, and you hear him just not down, but he's technically prone, so he's gonna have to spend some of his turn getting up. You have another attack, don't you?
I have 2 more. So
Okay.
I have my brawl's at 5 now.
Oh, okay, all right, awesome. Yeah, what are you doing?
All right. He threw him over, and then like his back is kind of turned towards the other guy, so he's gonna like bring his foot up and kick the other guy in the face.
Okay, all right, yeah, melee.
Ooh, that is 1 success.
What's the number?
18.
What? Your success is an 18?
Mhm.
Holy cow,
I
man!
succeeded on a 19.
What's that?
I've succeeded on a 19.
His
Once you
fight
get a
is
5 and
7.
a focus on something that applies to something you're good at,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. His fight is 7. His boldly that I'm using is 6, and his brawling is 5.
Man, crazy. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is why you need to have plenty of checks that are at least difficulty of 3 and above.
Mhm.
Is you don't want to be able to just pass any single check you take. But yeah, he rolled a 4, so
Okay.
he's gonna block that. Third attack.
All right. So like I guess he kicked him the first time, and so I blocked that, and so
Right.
he's
His fists.
gonna go down and try to punch under his arms that are up here blocking.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kick.
Okay. Yep.
He's gonna try to punch him in the gut.
Contest.
3 successes.
All right, that's good. Remind me, do you have brass knuckles?
Wearing
alright.
gloves.
Yep. So you punch this guy, and he just grips his gut as he starts falling towards the ground. Not completely out. Next guy. Wait.
It's that guy that I just punched.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
turn.
He's gonna try and kick you in the groin. Yep. Classic maneuver. Contest.
I know this one. 3 successes.
What's the numbers?
2 and 15.
Okay. You got 3 as well. A 1 and a 4.
Ooh.
So he is gonna do that one. That is 1 stress. And it hurts.
Oh, that's my move.
All right, your turn again though.
All right. He's going to what the guy on the ground? It's his turn.
He just went. He kicked you.
Oh, he kicked me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the other guy that
Yep.
was attacking me.
Oh, I guess they're both technically on the ground.
Yeah.
The first one that you attacked is the one that kicked you.
Okay, what about the second guy?
That guy goes after you. Remember?
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna grab the guy that's still standing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to grab him and throw him onto the other guy.
Okay. All right. Melee contest.
3 successes.
Okay, that's good enough. So you grab this guy and slam him into the other, while the one that you punched in the gut is still trying to recover. That's not the case now. You slam and you can actually see their heads connect, and they both fall out conscious.
He's gonna stand up. And he's gonna pick both of them, or he's gonna start dragging both of them to the nearest law enforcement center.
All right.
but this time he's gonna take his mask off first.
Okay, sounds good. So you're walking back. There's probably a station in Zevian's watch, but you'd see someone in like just a patrol cap, cream uniform. Excuse me, sir. What are you doing with those bodies there?
I'm trying to collect bounties on these guys. These guys
Oh.
are the Green Castle gang.
Are you sure about that? We've had a lot of impersonations, like arrested. What?
I don't know. They tried to rob me.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Let me take a look. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. I can take the bodies from here. Here's a voucher. Just turn this into the bounty office, and you'll get your bounty.
Thank you.
Thank you for your services online.
You're welcome. And so he's gonna take that to the nearest place and try to turn it in.
Yep. And you get 300 notes.
All right.
Okay, Anton,
Oh, dang.
what are you doing? Because we're here for a surgery
A lot
for
of
you.
orange juice.
Yeah. So was Sab coming?
So
Or
Sab,
no? 'Cause I was unclear. Heisel wanted one thing, and it seems like Sab. wanted
Yeah.
something
Heisel's going to make Sab go over there at some
You're
point.
not.
Sab
Not now.
slipped away,
Not now,
left a
but at some
note,
point.
going to Duxton's. Have Hootie with me. We'll be back.
Okay, well, Anton's gonna leave then. Go to Sherry's house.
Okay. I'm gonna do you because yours will be quick. When you go to Duxton's shop, you find an empty building, completely vacated.
Wait a second.
You guys put him out of
He
business.
knocks on the front door.
I mean, you can see the building's empty,
Okay.
and no one responds.
Is there anyone around that I could ask?
Yeah, you can see. Looks to be like a fisherman smoking nearby.
Howdy, sailor. Do you know why this fisherman? Do you know why this establishment is not open?
You mean you're talking about Ziva?
Yeah, Zivas.
Oh, he died. Take the bucket. What the farm?
Duxton?
Women with the fishes.
Duxton? Like,
Yeah, you mean the old guy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Do we know what happened? Why it happened?
He was old. Old people die. It happens.
I mean, that's it.
I didn't attend it.
Do you know? Is there like a morgue or like a place like a cemetery or like did he have family? Like,
Just a fisherman.
do you like a council room or someplace that I could go to look up? So he just died?
Yeah. Happens.
Does someone own the shop? Did
Oh
get left to someone?
no. Just blow off, Chopper. He's gonna leave. All right, there might be better people to ask.
You're
This guy's
so
just a random-
happy that you got to use that line, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. It was applicable.
All right. Sav just kind of looks in the window. Is there like any like signage or there's anything inside, or is it just all empty?
It's absolutely empty.
Hmm. So I know absolutely no one in the city except Miguel, who left the city. And Sherry too, who I'm not going to be talking to pretty soon.
All right, we will probably go back to Anton. You're going to Dr. Two's house?
Yep.
All right. So, you go there.
Sab's definitely going to talk to you sometime soon.
You would actually encounter, you would probably see, yeah, you probably see Jacob Reed after getting his bounty paid. or getting his reward for his bounty. It's in the same neighborhood, so
Oh, hey, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna go get surgery or something. I don't know.
Oh, nice. I'll come with you.
You need surgery?
No, but I'll be there for moral support. He's gonna fall in.
I don't know how to
all right.
respond to that.
So, go to her house and you knock on the door, and there's no response.
Try the knob.
No response. Oh, it's locked. Yeah. Considering someone broke into her house earlier.
I'm gonna go looking through the windows.
All right. Yeah. Perception check.
One success.
She ain't there.
Where should
Almost like this is the middle of the day and people have jobs.
Do I know what her job is?
Ah, that's a good point. I don't.
I don't think
Do
I know
you?
what her clinic is. I just heard that she's like good with medicine.
No, wait, no.
as far as I know.
You know she's a doctor, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if she's practicing
I
at
have
a
an
clinic
idea.
in a particular place.
I have an idea. Let's knock on the doors and ask the neighbors.
One of her neighbors is Mikhail. He's not here.
Well, she's got more than one neighbor, huh?
Do you know how to break
Sure.
into a house without anyone noticing?
What?
I'm just
I
saying.
can't believe it,
That's
but
a
Jacob
crime.
Reed is speaking sense.
That's a.
No, because she would let me see the thing anyway. It's just that she's not home to show me.
Try to break in there. I'm gonna have to beat you up.
I'm not trying. You're succeeding.
What?
I'm not trying. You're succeeding.
No, let's go talk to the neighbors. There's better ways to get surgery.
No, this is a different thing. This is a small side thing. I just want to look at something that's in her house that she would show me if she's here, but she's not here. So you'd really be doing the work that she would be doing if she was here, but she's not here to do it.
I'm confused.
Well, the answer is if I could just pop in there for a minute, I'm going to leave it better than found it.
Make me.
No, I know you're smart enough to know that this is a good idea. I'm trusting you with this.
He's gonna put his hand on your shoulder. I know you guys take me for a fool. Not. Stop it. I'm not gonna help you do this. Surgery? You can go find folks. I'm not helping you with this.
Okay, then I'm just going to do some other stuff around the neighborhood.
Gonna keep an eye on you. And don't try to outrun me. I have a healthy liver.
Levers don't help you run.
I don't know what they do. But I know what
Everybody ever. What do livers do?
I'm keeping an eye on you. And I can blink too now.
You can blink through walls, can't you?
Anton, you don't know this, but Jacob, you know. No. It's gotta be within line of sight.
Yeah, I can blink through walls.
I don't suppose you could go in there.
No, I'm not doing that. It's not right.
Well, since she knows me, I'm just going to go look for the guest key. I forget exactly where she said it was, but I think there's one by the front door. He's going to like go to the front door.
He's following right behind you.
And I'm going to search for a key.
All right. Make an investigation check.
So this is a study. Can I argue swiftly?
No. This is carefully. Sorry.
One success.
There is no key that you can see.
Well, I forget where she said that was.
I have an idea. Let's go talk to the neighbors. Then you can get your surgery that way. I mean, I could always give you the surgery instead.
No thanks. I guess we can go talk to the neighbors.
All right, let's go. He's gonna go and knock on each door until somebody answers.
Okay. Very first one, you would hear somebody come to the door. Just, oh, hello.
Hello. What's your name?
My name is Bertrand.
Hello, Bertrand.
Yes.
I am Jacob.
Hello, Jacob.
We were
I have a
wondering.
performance tonight. I'm just merely exercising my voice.
Ooh, what kind of performance?
Opera.
Ooh, where can I see that?
At the opera.
Ooh, how much does it cost?
Oh, I don't know.
How long is the wait? Should he go and get his seat right now?
Oh no, the show is at 7 o'clock. You should be fine.
Okay, I'll go get a ticket as soon as I can. But first, we were wondering where your neighbor worked. See, he's got liver failure.
Oh yes, you're looking for Dr. Two. Yes, she works at the clinic just over there. Just literally like 10 blocks away.
Thank you. I'll be sure to see your show if I can.
Thank you very much. Good
Oh,
day, sirs.
Good day to you too.
Spencer, you understand if we go to this opera, you're gonna have to sing for us.
I'm okay with this. I will prepare.
See? That wasn't so bad. You know,
Actually,
it
just Tears of the
works.
Constant Sea in operatic form.
Oh my gosh.
No, yeah.
Let's go then.
Let's go. He's gonna try to grab Anton's hand and drag him.
Which hand?
The nearest one. So I'm guessing he's grabbing the right hand that's crippled.
Anton's gonna let it happen and hope that it feels weird.
He's wearing gloves. It doesn't. He can't feel.
Yeah,
I mean, Anton's also wearing gloves, so that's fair.
it was like touching a, I don't know, raisin hand.
Made of soap. It's very nice.
Or
Nice
just a
gloves.
very old man hand.
Ooh.
Again, raisin hand.
And I guess we're going to Dr. Two's clinic.
Yep.
Assuming it's findable.
So, yeah, you go to the clinic. Most of it is under tents. It's very intense.
Wow. Hilarious. The Dazzler would be proud.
So, you would actually see her running in between patients. At least the individual that described to you is Dr. Two.
Are you Doctor Two?
Yes, that's me. If you're looking for an appointment, get in line. Schedule an appointment.
Okay. I really hate to bother you, but his liver is failing.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I help by nodding?
He's talking boldly.
Fine, yes.
That's 2 successes.
How would I be able to help? Could I nod boldly?
Yeah. Talk still.
A success.
So 3
Oh,
successes.
success. Okay.
Nod
Convincing
God,
nod. That's a
forcefully.
convincing nodding.
Headbanging.
Nodding
Oh my
forcefully.
god, that's rock concert people. They put everything into their forcefully score, but they wanted to show by nodding that they're appreciating the music, so they just have to nod forcefully.
Regardless.
Rock
The fact that
concert.
your hair flips around when you do that is so much better.
Yep. Okay. Oh, thankfully we don't really have any major injuries that we're tending to right now.
Major injuries that we're attending to here.
Injuries we were attending to.
How much will a surgery like this cost?
Free.
Given that it's not a
Best I can do is
life-threatening
85
thing.
mils. I mean, it is life-threatening. Someone else told me I was going to die eventually.
Oh, who did?
I don't know. Some
Medical
surgeon in,
professional? Professional?
I assume.
A surgeon in triptych.
Fair enough. Sorry, it's kind of a lengthy procedure. If you all want, I can do the procedure for free, but if you have any money, I would really appreciate it.
I can give you 2.
Notes?
Yes.
I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
And any extra would go, of course, to the clinic. Thank you. All right.
Make sure any extra money goes to children or old people.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of kids and the elderly here. Sure. All right, I can. Oh, what's that called? When you earmark it. Yeah, I can earmark that. All right. You used to sedatives at all? I need you to answer honestly. Do you take drugs whatsoever? Any sort of. You do.
I had morphine last night.
Last night. Did you know you were going to have a medical procedure?
Not today.
Wow.
It's out
If
of my
you need me to
system.
hold him down, I can.
I mean, I'm sure that
I wouldn't suggest doing this without anesthesia. That'd be a bad idea.
I'm sure the body gets it out. I mean, it's not affecting me anymore, so it's probably fine.
Sure hope so. But I do need you to sign a form that says that if you die, it's not on me.
And I sign a form that says that if I die, it's on a particular person.
Well, it's kind of on you. There are complications
No,
doing
I'm saying, can I sign a form that says that it is Lysander McCrogan's fault that I died if I die? He's the one that stabbed me with a poisonous knife.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you.
So she would take a document that says, I hereby, understand that this is the consequence of my actions. It just crosses out my and Lysander McCroven. Fair enough. Hope this holds up in court.
Not even questioning that a virtuoso pianist stabbed you with a poison
She's like, they are eccentric.
She does not know who Lysander McCroven is. off the top of
Okay,
her head,
okay.
But
That would make it funnier though. Like you're just listening to someone's beautiful piano and you're like, I treated a guy that this guy stabbed with a poisoned dagger. What? Yeah. That's it.
He
That's
said
all
to
we
make
know.
sure we blame him.
But it just makes the mood for the rest of the piano piece awkward for everyone who's listening.
all right. So you take a syringe and do that weird thing that doctors do when they have syringes. And she just
You need me
put
to
it in
hold
your
your
arm.
hand?
No.
And it's a different kind of trip. This one is more of, she probably just asked you to start counting backwards from 10. By 6, you're out. Okay.
That's good stuff.
So, she would ask, are you just here to observe the procedure? Are you fine with the sight of blood?
Of course.
All right. He's going to take a scalpel and open them up. I'm not going to describe his surgery at length. But I will say one of the things that you see is a lot of what she's doing is just looking. She looks a little concerned.
Something wrong, Doc?
I can't fix this with just a procedure. He's going to need a transplant.
Do you have any spare livers laying around?
No. I mean, if you need to do a transplant, you need to have someone living. Refrigeration has not been invented yet.
Would Reed know that the liver is capable of regenerating?
Is that true?
Yeah.
So long as you have one lobe, there's 3 lobes.
Mhm.
You can lose up to 2.
So you
and
can get a living donor to donate part of
The
liver.
remaining lobes
That's so
grow to
cool.
the size that they need to be to fix it, but you can't take all 3 lobes. Or like you can't take part of a lobe
Yeah.
and it regenerates. I think you have to take
A full
the
lobe.
lobe.
Mhm. You can't keep doing it, but like you can
But
do
you
it
do
once.
start out with 3 lobes, so
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow.
you could like
To the
remove
West, an
one,
educational RPG.
lock
Wow.
that in another person.
Well, the
It's
doc-
probably way more
the doctor
complicated
would
than
know
that.
She would. Yeah, absolutely. I don't.
Yeah.
I do imagine, though, that their blood type and I think even more compatibility of liver would matter, though, right?
I'm sure.
Okay. How many blood types are there? What is it?
Too many.
There's 4.
At least 8.
There's
A, B,
plus
O,
there's 8 because there's
AB.
positive and negative.
Yeah.
A, B, yeah.
And then all of us are positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, O negative is universal donor.
Right,
AB
yeah.
positive is universal recipient. Anton would have no idea what his blood type is.
Roll for
And
blood
also,
type.
We're gonna do it.
Oh.
well, I have a blood dye.
What?
A blood splatter dye.
Oh, okay. Well,
Does anyone
here-
have
you
a
can do
D8
that
on
if you
them?
want
I
to.
want to take a look at the percentages because there's actual like.
There's percentages of the population.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, should I roll a percentile then?
That is a great idea, actually.
Because I have blood dye percentile dice.
I don't know if
I'm
these add up to
so
100.
incredibly pleased by these blood splatter dice. They're so great. One of my favorite things in my life.
Okay.
The other one.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and both of you roll a percentile dice if you have it.
Okay.
Can I roll 2 just for the heck of it?
Yeah. What's your
percentile
blood
dice?
type?
You do.
He's gonna say, "You can take all of my liver."
If you roll a 1 through 38, you are O positive. I'm not sure if O negative is universal. Is that true?
What do you mean? It's universal recipient.
Wait, what's?
Because the positive is.
I rolled 38.
I got a 64.
A what?
I rolled a 38.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're O positive.
Because
Oh.
as far as that goes, it's like the markers. If your body sees the marker, then it like freaks out if it's not on your blood.
Yeah.
And so A is a marker, B is a marker, plus is a marker. So O negative has none of the markers that make the body freak out,
Gotcha. Huh.
as far as I know.
Cool. All right.
I got 64.
What are the other ones?
What's that?
What are the other ones?
What'd you roll?
48.
48. That would be A positive.
Roll the blood die.
Nice.
So
Blood type.
can Reed donate his liver to?
Yes, you can. You can. So after doing some
84.
testing, some very quick and nonsensically fast blood testing, she would find out that you are a possible donor.
What's my blood type? 64.
64. Also A positive.
Same blood type.
Sab is in 84. What is that?
84. B negative.
I got an A plus on my
Very rare.
test. My blood test.
That's what I was thinking when I wrote that down. It's like, oh, I got an A plus.
Reed's gonna go to her. How can we save him?
Well, I mean, he should be fine for a month or so, but we just need a donor. And we just tested you, so and
Can I donate my liver?
wow, must be good friends with this guy.
Not really.
Guess related? No, really? Wow. Well, I respect that.
I'm a
Normally you have to
vigilante.
search.
It's what I do.
You operate outside the law.
Yes.
You're like, but I will be receiving financial compensation.
Have you taken
because
any
it's
drugs within the
illegal.
last 48 hours?
I think I drank juice yesterday.
That's fine.
She's
All right.
like, "Your
Okay.
liver
All right.
is a
I'm
little
gonna
white,
put you
so-"
under. Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Somebody hold my hand.
I was not expecting this today.
This is such a thing.
You know what? She's gonna use a void point. This is a crucial procedure.
Did she fail?
Did you take a chaos?
She's gonna take a chaos. She doesn't want to botch a procedure that is a transplant. You know, botching, I mean, killing one person is one thing, but killing two,
She's
no.
like, I fixed it. Now you have no kidneys, and you
Wait,
have.
wait,
Wait a minute. There's 4 kidneys in that man.
Wait,
Oh
wait.
no.
Let me
Oh, no.
calculate. Okay, this is carefully. But she is talented. So
I should.
Seven. Oh my word! Yeah. Okay.
Swiftly
Yeah.
insurgent is a
That's
concern.
3 successes. That's 20 will not cut it though, unfortunately. No. Surgery is successful. Anton, you probably actually wake up first, and you would slowly wake up and see. First off, this procedure was done outside, which is a weird thing to do. It's all under tents. Yeah. So, correction, possibility. This is a free clinic, man.
My free clinic.
She's just really good. She technically doesn't have
I don't know what
you
the
know,
theory is.
a medical license to perform these sorts of procedures, but she can do them. But you would see,
I got a blue leg liver.
you would see Jacob Reed next to you, conscious. He was the donor.
What would he have done?
Oh, welcome back to the land of living. How do you feel?
What did he have done?
What did he have done? What?
Was he
Donated a liver to you, or
what?
a liver lobe.
You're telling me
Medical
part of him-
language.
You're telling me part of him is in me.
Yes.
Oh,
You were gonna die in like 2 weeks, my friend.
I guess it's better than that.
You should probably thank him. This is very sacrificial.
No.
Are you saying that?
Yeah. Wow. Donates liver. Cooties.
Okay, hold still. Need to administer some Sokolov elixir. Just gonna put another syringe. And you start to feel yourself going out again.
Uh-oh. He's not as bad as Anton, right? She's not gonna put it back.
No.
No.
A slightly delirious man says, "Oh, gross. This random guy's liver's in me now. You had no warning of this." And she's like, "Well, if you don't appreciate it, I'm gonna give it back."
Jacob Reed, you would eventually wake up. One lobe less.
Oh.
Hey, you lost some weight.
Oh.
You actually feel kind of fine.
Did I live? Did he live?
We'll see about that.
Oh my.
Yeah, he'll live. Don't worry.
Okay.
In fact, he already did.
He lived?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something else to do. He said he wasn't thankful. And so I'm like, I don't know. I need to teach him a lesson.
Being a vigilante is a thankless job sometimes, but it's all worth it in the end.
Hey, you don't ever hear it from him. Thank you. You saved this man's life. Now, help me think of something to put inside his body.
His hand already looks really funny.
Hmm.
I think he's had enough punishment.
That's strange. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
If you could give him like a weird tattoo, I'd appreciate that.
That's a great idea.
I want on his chest.
Max! Go get the tattoo artist that was in here a couple weeks ago.
This is great. This is what happens when you go to a weird clinic, guys. You wake up with someone else's liver in you and a weird tattoo that wasn't there before.
On his neck, right here, can you put a raven with its wings outstretched?
God.
with purple glitter coming from the wings.
Hey, one lobe of liver.
They bring like a
See
sailor
you.
who's used to giving tattoos and whatnot. He's like, that's how we pattern. I'm in. And so a bunch of the medical staff is just gathered around, just watching this. And then you get a tattoo of a raven. Its wings gloriously unfurled on your neck.
God.
But it does look good.
Anton, after a while, you feel yourself coming to again. You see a lot more people around you than the last time that you woke up. A lot of them are covering their mouths and snickering.
Tell me for the love of Pete you didn't take it back out.
Oh, no.
My goodness.
BJ goes, we wouldn't kill someone that way. Congratulations. You're going to live. All thanks to this man right here. Your neck hurts, though.
Did you inject me something in the neck?
Yeah, that's right. We did use some needles near your neck.
What you laughing about?
I'm sorry. You know what? You have a good day, sir. We have to close this. Goodbye.
What are you laughing about?
Your liver looked funny when they took it out.
I've been poisoned. Actually, Jerry, I had a question. I wanted to.
Yes.
I love art.
Well, that's good to hear.
And I heard that you had some nice piece in your house. I was wondering if I might be able to look at it.
I don't have any art in my house. I don't know where you heard that from.
Well, I heard there was some sort of picture.
Picture.
Some kind of picture.
No paintings. Sorry, art's not my thing.
No photographs, no paintings.
Photograph isn't painting. If you want to see a painting, you see
Nothing funny
you
about
see a
paintings.
You see someone, one of the nurses out of the corner of your eye with a hand mirror, and you just gestures that person away. Anyways, you were saying.
What was that?
Oh, that was Max. He's
Hey Max, could I get that hand mirror?
Max, just continue closing down. Just make
Max?
sure you lock up all the drugs. Thanks.
Max. Give me the
Max.
hand mirror.
Go.
Give me the hand mirror. I'll stick my dog on you.
Oh, I forgot.
Ghost in there.
Bill's like, yeah, he deserved it.
Bill sat there and was like, yeah. For sure, man. Go for it.
Max
I'm good with all
does
this.
leave. He just heads out. Okay, anyways, a picture. Who'd you hear from that I had a picture in my house?
I just heard from Mikhail.
Oh.
This was a very...
Oh,
Wait.
I mean, sorry. Hate to say it, but I know Mikhail, but I don't really know you. And some of the photographs in my home are kind of private.
Well, I guess that's fine.
Thank you for the surgery, Doc. How long should I rest?
Just take it easy for the next 24 hours and you should be fine. That's probably very gracious and not what an actual medical professional would say, but RPG rules.
Sokolov's elixir. Such.
Yes.
So, I guess if we're done, unless you're gonna say
go
something.
find a mirror.
I guess we can find the nearest house with a window.
Where's the nearest reflective surface?
Yeah. So you look at a window pretty soon. And you see face looks fine. So they didn't give you plastic surgery or anything like that. Oh, they should have done that. Big nose.
Huge nose. Would have been good.
Hmm.
But
You do see just the tip. This luxurious wing on your neck. And you turn to see the full tattoo. A raven.
Is it good?
With purple sparkles.
It's good. Yeah.
That purple sparkle's coming off the
Oh, yeah.
wings too.
Yep.
This weren't a good tattoo, I'd kill you.
I'm glad you like it.
I never said I liked it.
To be fair, I did give you a liver, and then you were like, nah.
When you ever start listening to someone coming off drugs?
I don't know, but the doctor lady Salt told me to do it.
Anton has her on his list now.
What time is it?
It is in the
In the
game.
game.
Okay, it's like 2:00 now. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the procedure probably took much longer. It's probably like 6.
I think you need to get to the opera if you're gonna go.
Want to come with?
I think I'm gonna go back and rest.
Okay.
All right. And with that note, we will end session for tonight.
I'm not going back and resting. by the way.
Spencer, once Mikhail leaves, I'll also try to find a quiet moment to be able to send the thing I was talking to you about.
Yep. Roger that.
What Anton's actually gonna do, real quick, he's just gonna like make his way towards the airship, and as soon as he thinks the Raven has gone sufficiently far towards the opera, he's gonna go right back to Sherry's house.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll deal with that next week. Thank you all for joining us.
For this interesting session of To the West, a Dishonored RPG.
Yes.
I think we were all
Where Anton
very
got a
tired.
tattoo.
We are all so tired.
We
Yep.
are. I think that was some.
We will
But it
see
was
you
fun.
all eventually. We're going to take probably a little break as we start to figure out our summer schedules.
Mhm.
I don't want it to be that long, but I understand some of us have jobs that are coming up, and it's hard to know what days actually work. So, I'd like to have a session in 2 weeks. Something comes up, we'll talk about it in chat. We'll address it, and we'll do To the West again. It is not over. We'll see you all then.